Chapter 5:22. Seeing that there was no answer, Yu Qianhao released a mystic light and flew out of the Golden Sun sacred city. He turned around and left. Everyone on the Golden Sun sacred city paused. From Yu Qianhao's actions, it seemed that he wasn't interested in the tea party or the three-eyed saint. Oomph. You want to leave just like that? A hint of anger appeared in the three-eyed saint's eyes. The feeling of being looked down upon ignited the anger in his heart. So, a cold snicker sounded as a golden light flew out of the Golden Sun sacred city and closed in on Yu Qianhao. What do you want? Yu Qianhao stopped in the air and looked coldly at the three-eyed saint. Yu Qianhao, there's still a battle between us. The three-eyed saint's body was covered in a layer of golden light as his third eye opened. It was like a golden sun that released a blinding light. The golden eye bloodline aura spread through the air and swept toward Zhao Feng's face and soul. Even the other peerless geniuses had struggled to face the aura head-on. Worthy of being the champion of the last two sacred true dragon gatherings. Unfortunately, this isn't your era anymore. Furthermore, the Golden Sun family has always been defeated by the Yu family in the past several hundred years. Yu Qianhao was slightly regretful. Ignorant brat. Back when I swept through the sacred true dragon gatherings, you were still wearing diapers. The three-eyed saint raised his eyebrows and laughed instead of getting angry. Although they had heard of Yu Qianhao's arrogance, they were still shocked. One had to know that. The three-eyed saint had become the champion of the last two sacred true dragon gatherings before Yu Qianhao and could be said to be Yu Qianhao Sr. In terms of experience and cultivation, the three-eyed saint was above Yu Qianhao. Let's fight. Yu Qianhao was decisive as a powerful battle intent surged from him. It was obvious that Yu Qianhao had heard of the three-eyed saint's name and knew that he did have the qualifications to be his opponent. I will take back the glory of the Golden Sun family. The three-eyed saint's bloodline was fully activated as his third eye locked onto Yu Qianhao, and a golden eye bloodline power burned through the air. Yu Qianhao's figure sank slightly as the space around him seemed to be restricted. Golden Void Dragon's Sun Claw. The three-eyed saint's golden hand reached out, and a giant golden claw that was dozens of yards long shone with a scorching red light. Pa! That astonishing claw faintly shook the air, forming a perfect combination with the sacred eye bloodline's lock and lock. Even peak True Lord ranks would be shocked by such an attack, and would find it hard to take it head-on. Yu Qianhao stood where he was without dodging. He didn't care if he was locked on by the sacred eye bloodline. Break! Without any hesitation, Yu Qianhao simply slashed out with his palm, as if he was looking down on everything. With the naked eye, one could only see an unparalleled and magnificent palm light, like a mysterious aurora that traversed the heavens and the earth. At that moment, it became the center of nature, drawing in the boundless and domineering Yuan Qi power, suppressing all things. If Zhao Feng was here, he would be shocked. The intent of Yu Qianhao's palm strike was similar to the mental state of a martial highness. However, Yu Qianhao's state was expressed through his own will. It was very simple. Crack! A huge explosion came from the clouds. The people of the Golden Sun sacred city felt a strong gust of wind blowing sand in their faces. Plop! 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 Some of the spectators on the city tower were sent flying by the strong shock waves. The scene was chaotic. Some of the true spirit realm experts held their breaths as they observed the battle with shock on their faces. In the sky, the three-eyed saint's golden claw was instantly pierced through and shattered. Wah! The three-eyed saint spat out a mouthful of blood and exclaimed in disbelief. An unparalleled technique? No, it seems to have merged with the intent of an inheritance. Three-eyed saint, if you don't show your true ability, you won't have any chance at all. Yu Qianhao smiled proudly. The three-eyed saint took a deep breath as his expression became solemn. Before the clash, he thought that Yu Qianhao was slightly weaker than Zhao Feng because Yu Qianhao didn't have such a monstrous eye bloodline, so he had a high chance of winning. However, only after exchanging blows did the three-eyed saint realize how terrifying Yu Qianhao and the Yu family were. No wonder his father's generation was stepped on by the Yu family. Even someone as strong as Zhao Feng couldn't defeat Yu Qianhao in the sacred True Dragon gathering. Three-eyed divine light, golden crow world incineration. The third eye on the three-eyed saint's forehead was like a blazing sun. Boom! A three-legged flaming bird in the shape of a golden crow turned into a blazing sun that pierced through the sky and destroyed everything in its path. A wisp of forbidden flame, qi pierced through the air, seeping into the void and burning it. At this moment in time, the three-eyed saint's three-eyed divine light had been pushed to the extreme, and it could split mental energy in the physical world. Ha ha! That's more like it. Yu Qianhao let out a long laugh and struck out with his palm again. Unparalleled, a dazzling and mysterious giant palm, surrounded by wisps of cold crystal light, seemed to have swallowed and assimilated a part of the world. Boom! The aurora palm and the vast yuan qi of heaven and earth shone brilliantly. It had a kind of supreme and domineering aura that could sweep through the world. Wherever it passed, everything was crushed and crushed. My God! The experts in the Golden Sun Sacred City held their breaths as their hearts jumped. Everything within several miles seemed to be engulfed by this unparalleled palm. Even the sun and moon seemed to be engulfed by it. The three-eyed saint also felt small under that domineering aura. Even his father, the first elder of the family, couldn't give him such pressure. Although the three-eyed divine light could destroy everything in its path, his attack seemed to have pierced through a boundless mountain and was blocked by a dominating power. What was even more terrifying was that Yu Qianhao's palm contained an indescribably powerful mental energy. The three-eyed divine light's power of splitting and analyzing mental energy couldn't even take a single blow. Boom! The three-eyed saint didn't even last a breath or two in front of the palm before being sent flying. Bam! Tongue! So! His body flipped in the air as he spat out a few mouthfuls of blood. His entire body was in pain, and he felt like he was about to collapse. How can this be the power of a true Lord rank? Although his cultivation is close to the late-stage True Lord rank, his mental energy and mental energy are unparalleled apart from sovereigns. The three-eyed saint was stunned. The difference in cultivation between the two wasn't big, but Yu Qianhao's unparalleled power suppressed his three-eyed divine light mercilessly. He was pushed back several hundred yards. The three-eyed saint barely managed to stabilize his body. His face was pale white, as even his sacred eye bloodline was suppressed by some sort of mental energy. You're not my match, even when you're at your peak. Yu Qianhao took back his hand. It was obvious that he could tell that the three-eyed saint's yuan qi and eye bloodline power had been injured. There were even some hidden injuries that hadn't recovered. After all, Zhao Feng had fought with the three-eyed saint half a month ago, and the latter was heavily injured. Could it be that you've already activated the legendary, unparalleled heaven-battling bloodline? The three-eyed saint took a deep breath. Unparalleled heaven-battling bloodline? I can only activate my unparalleled heaven-battling bloodline if I meet an opponent stronger than me. You don't have a right. Yu Qianhao smiled proudly and left with the attitude of a victor. The three-eyed saint's heart shook, and his expression dimmed. All the humiliation, frustration, and anger in his heart disappeared. Yu Qianhao had an overwhelming advantage over him. He didn't have any anger left in him. Unlike Zhao Feng, Yu Qianhao was powerful, domineering, confident, and even conceited. He crushed everything with his first move without any preamble. As for Zhao Feng, even though he had an overwhelming advantage in eye bloodline power, he still had the attitude of humbly learning. In comparison, the three-eyed saint admired Yu Qianhao more. As for that Zhao Feng, what a vile plagiarist. Golden Sun, Sacred City. Many experts watched Yu Qianhao's majestic and heroic figure as he floated into the distance, their hearts filled with shock. At this moment, everyone came to a realization. The three-eyed saint's era had indeed passed. This era belonged to two overwhelming prodigies. Yu Qianhao must have gone to challenge Zhao Feng, two overwhelming prodigies that stood at the peak of dozens of generations. Who is the true king? The figures on the walls of Golden Sun Sacred City were filled with excitement and expectation. Jinyang Xingtian, I didn't expect your azure flower continent to have such a terrifying genius. Even some of the peak true dragon geniuses of the Three Saints Palace are only at his level. A thick-eyebrows youth appeared next to the three-eyed saint. The three-eyed saint didn't reply, which meant that he agreed. If we can recommend these two geniuses to the Three Saints Palace, it'll be a great contribution. The thick-eyebrows youth continued with excitement. Recommend them to the Three Saints Palace? No, definitely not. The three-eyed saint exclaimed. Jinyang Xingtian, this is a great opportunity. If there are rewards from the sect, you and I might be able to have new breakthroughs and opportunities. The thick-eyebrows youth was slightly unhappy. Firstly, there's no way that Yu Qianhao will join the Three Saints Palace. The Yu family has a huge background in the outside world, and they've never sent any of their prodigies to the Three Saints Palace. If I'm not wrong, this Yu Qianhao is in a rush to challenge Zhao Feng because he's going to leave the Azure Flower Continent and head to a mysterious force that might surpass the Three Saints Palace. The three-eyed saint explained. So that's how it is. The thick-eyebrows youth wasn't surprised. After all, the outside world was too big, and the Azure Flower Continent was just a sesame seed. But this Zhao Feng definitely doesn't have this fortune. The thick-eyebrows youth smiled. You can't do this. If that filthy thief joins the Three Saints Palace, I won't have the face to stand in the clan. The three-eyed saint almost cursed it out loud. If Zhao Feng joined the Three Saints Palace, his sacred eye bloodline wouldn't even be worth mentioning. Everything would fall to Zhao Feng's halo. Several months later, Canopy Great Country, Iron Blood Religion Headquarters. Whoosh! A gust of wind and an arc of lightning flashed across the sky and landed in the headquarters. I'm back. A blue-haired youth let out a long breath. It was Zhao Feng. Thinking back to how he had talked to an elder of the Scarlet Moon demonic religion at such a close distance, he still felt fear. Luckily, he had confirmed that he wasn't being followed on the way back. Now that he had returned, he could relax. After all, there were sovereigns here. Chapter 523. Zhao Feng had returned earlier than Prince Jin and the other geniuses from the Great Country. At this moment in time, Jiang Sanfeng and Dai Yi hadn't returned yet. Just as Zhao Feng landed, Deputy Patriarch Tiemo rushed over. How was the tea party? Tiemo asked. Tiemo had introduced the Golden Sun family's sacred eye bloodline to Zhao Feng in order to deal with the three-eyed saint. Not bad. A smile appeared on Zhao Feng's face as he told Tiemo what had happened. Hearing this, Tiemo was overjoyed. I didn't think that the title of the strongest eye bloodline would change because of you. Zhao Feng suddenly remembered that the head of the Golden Sun family had been killed by Elder Silence Kill and tried to kill him. Should he tell Tiemo about this? Right as Zhao Feng was hesitating, a voice sounded in their ears. Zhao Feng, Tiemo. Patriarch Hong. Zhao Feng's heart shook. He had almost forgotten about the true powerhouse of the Iron Blood religion this time. A while later, Zhao Feng and Tiemo met Patriarch Hong in the underground palace. Patriarch Hong sat on the bed with a red glow on his face. His aura was limitless. Every breath he took seemed to be the center of the heaven-earth Yuan Qi, and his aura was countless times stronger than that of the true Lord rank. Zhao Feng, I didn't think that you would defeat the three-eyed saint and obtain the title of the strongest eye bloodline on the continent. Patriarch Hong had a satisfied expression. The Patriarch and Deputy Patriarch were full of praises for Zhao Feng. It could be said that the youth standing in front of them was the prodigy with the strongest bloodline on the continent. Even the 10 great sects of the continent would devote all of their resources to nurture such a genius. Patriarch Hong, do you have any other orders? Zhao Feng inspected Patriarch Hong and found that his injuries had healed. His Yuan Qi should have mostly recovered. Once this sovereign appeared, there wouldn't be a second voice in the Canopy Great Country. I've recovered most of my strength, and I'll go to the Sacred Alliance in a few months. Have you thought about what happened last time? Patriarch Hong laughed. What happened last time? Zhao Feng paused, but he soon remembered. Zhao Feng, joining the Three Saints Palace will be of great help to you and the Iron Blood religion. You must understand that the ruler of this region including the Azure Flower Continent and the nearby islands, is the Three Saints Temple. Tiamat warned. Hearing this, Zhao Feng began to hesitate and struggle. Patriarch Hong and Tiamat looked at each other. Zhao Feng, do you have something you can't say? Zhao Feng asked. Zhao Feng didn't hide anything and told him about Lu Qinxin. Hearing Zhao Feng's explanation, Patriarch Hong and Tiamat were stunned. In theory, Lu Qinxin was Zhao Feng's fiancé. He wanted to enter the outside world in the future to find the Sky Saint Qin inheritance. This explanation made sense. This Zhao Feng is very emotional. Patriarch Hong and Tiamat looked at each other and sighed. In reality, there was another reason why Zhao Feng couldn't decide whether or not to join the Three Saints Palace, and that was because of Zhao Yufei and the Purple Saint ruins. Moreover, after the 6 Warlock Divine Sages' guidance, Zhao Feng developed some interest in the legendary 8 Great God Eyes. All of this meant that Zhao Feng couldn't stay in any sect and would be subjected to many restrictions. Zhao Feng, we won't interfere with your decision. However, you need to be strong enough before entering the outside world. You need to reach the half-step origin core realm before you can leave. Patriarch Hong said. Thank you, Patriarch. Zhao Feng was filled with gratitude and quickly thanked him. Patriarch Hong and Tiamat didn't want Zhao Feng to go to the outside world. On the contrary, staying in a 2-star sect was more suitable for his growth. However, they all respected Zhao Feng's decision. An overwhelming prodigy that had surpassed dozens of generations might walk a different path. Next, Patriarch Hong taught Zhao Feng some general knowledge about the outside world. In theory, those at the True Lord rank can cross the limitless ocean and walk in the outside world. This is the lowest requirement. Patriarch Hong paused. True Lord rank? Zhao Feng's heart moved. In the entire Canopy Great Country, only a few people had reached the True Lord rank. Normal strong countries only had 1 or 2. This also meant that the horizons of the vast majority of living beings were limited. Furthermore, the True Lord rank was the lowest requirement. It's dangerous for normal True Lord ranks to walk in the outside world. The danger will decrease after reaching the half-step origin core realm. As for sovereigns who have reached the primal core realm, there are relatively few in the outer realms. They are considered experts, so you can go to the outer realms without worry. Patriarch Hong explained. In reality, the sovereigns of the continent often went to other islands. However, those at the True Lord rank wouldn't easily go unless they had a sovereign. For example, Patriarch Hong would often go to the islands around the Azure Flower Continent when he was at his peak. 3 days later, Patriarch Hong came out of seclusion and shocked the world with his cultivation at the Origin Core realm. Half a month later, this news shook the entire Canopy Great Country. The upper echelon of every force was stunned. On a certain day, Patriarch Hong personally came to the Imperials to visit the Emperor, Empress Qin, and the Grand Elder of the Imperials. The Imperials were silent. No one objected. From today onwards, Patriarch Hong is the imperial teacher of our country. The Iron Blood religion is the #1 religion. Going against the Iron Blood religion is the same as going against the Imperials. The Emperor helplessly made this decision. Once a sovereign appeared, the Imperial, 3 sects, and 4 families of the Canopy Great Country didn't say anything else. Without a doubt, the Iron Blood religion had become the #1 force in the Great Country. Even before Patriarch Hong came out of seclusion, Zhao Feng and Tiamat, the 2 deputy patriarchs, were enough to suppress the Imperials. Now that they had a sovereign, the Iron Blood religion wasn't far from becoming a 1-star sect. They were only lacking in one other aspect. To all of this, Zhao Feng didn't care. 10 days ago, he had left the main headquarters of the Iron Blood religion and found a secret place to cultivate. Half a month after Patriarch Hong came out of seclusion. So, a bright light descended from the sky and flew towards the main headquarters of the Iron Blood religion. The undefeatable aura caused the headquarters of the Iron Blood religion to panic. Even Deputy Sect Master Tiamat felt quite a bit of pressure. Who's there? The experts of the Iron Blood religion reacted and formed a line as they coldly looked at the black-haired youth in the sky. "Yu Qianhao," Jiang Sanfeng exclaimed. A few people recognized the newcomer. The black-haired youth was Yu Qianhao, who had rushed over from Golden Sun Sacred City. "Is Zhao Feng here?" Yu Qianhao's expression was emotionless as his eyes scanned across. Everyone's heart seemed to be struck and couldn't face it. Even someone as strong as Bloodhair, colored Tianma, couldn't block the powerful intent in Yu Tianhao's eyes. "This Yu Tianhao is much stronger than I expected." Tianma was secretly surprised. "Yu Qianhao, you've come the wrong time. Deputy Patriarch Zhao left 10 days ago and apparently found a quiet place to cultivate." Jiang Sanfeng braced himself. "When will he come back?" Yu Qianhao decided to wait for a while in the Iron Blood religion. If he missed this chance, he probably wouldn't have another chance to fight with Zhao Feng in the future. "Yu Tianhao, you're Yu Xingqian's son?" An old smiling voice sounded in Yu Tianhao's mind. "Sovereign." Yu Tianhao's expression became solemn as he thought for a while and said, "Junior, Tianhao greets Senior Hong." In the Azure Flower Continent, there were only a few sovereigns at the Origin Core realm, and they all knew each other. The Iron Blood religion had sovereigns, so Yu Qianhao calmed himself down and waited quietly. Underground Palace. "Brother Hong, this Yu Tianhao doesn't seem to have good intentions. In the entire continent, only he can shake Zhao Feng's position. This is probably the fight for the #1 genius of the continent," Tianma said worriedly. Patriarch Hong's expression was solemn as he nodded his head. "Yu Qianhao's father is extremely strong amongst the sovereigns, and even the Three Saints Palace is wary of the Yu family's background. Brother Hong, who do you think will win between Yu Qianhao and Zhao Feng?" Tianma asked out of concern. "If Yu Qianhao doesn't activate his unparalleled heaven-battling bloodline, he only has a 40% chance of winning against Zhao Feng. After all, Zhao Feng's soul, cultivation, and eye bloodline are all extremely strong. However, if Yu Qianhao activates the legendary unparalleled heaven-battling bloodline, his chance of winning will be 50 to 60%. Patriarch Hong said. Being a sovereign at the Origin Core realm, Patriarch Hong's senses were extremely strong. If this wasn't the case, he wouldn't have given Zhao Feng the ball of Ice Soul and the Dark Eye Incomplete page. In the blink of an eye, another dozen or so days passed. Patriarch Hong, how have you been?" An old Taoist in a white robe with a sage-like demeanor floated over. The moment he descended, all the primal chi in the world strangely froze. Then, like a gentle breeze in spring water, it flowed towards the white-robed old Taoist. Only existences at the true mystic rank and above could sense a bit of these changes. Iron Blood Religion headquarters, in a certain guest room. "Sovereign, another one has appeared." Yu Tianhao's expression changed. "Ha! Dao Sovereign Baiyan, it's been several hundred years, and you have the time to come visit me?" A red-haired elder with thick eyebrows flashed out and greeted the white-robed Taoist. It was Patriarch Hong. This Dao Sovereign Baiyan had once appeared at the sacred True Dragon gathering. Dao Sovereign Baiyan, Grand Elder of the Heavenly Yuan clan. A small number of people within the Iron Blood religion, such as Tianma, recognized Dao Sovereign Baiyan. Soon, Dao Sovereign Baiyan and Patriarch Hong sat down in a side hall with Deputy Patriarch Tianma next to them. "Dao Sovereign Baiyan, you didn't just come to the Iron Blood religion, right?" Patriarch Hong's eyes flashed. The two were both primal core venerates. In the past, they only knew each other but were not close. "I came this time to see Zhao Feng," Dao Sovereign Baiyan said straightforwardly. "See Zhao Feng?" Patriarch Hong and the Deputy Patriarch looked at each other and thought, why is there another one? Yu Tianhao hadn't left the Iron Blood religion yet. Now, another venerable one had arrived. Tianma thought for a while and knew why Dao Sovereign Baiyan had come. As expected, back at the sacred True Dragon gathering, Zhao Feng and my disciple Zhao Yufei entered an unknown inheritance. Dao Sovereign Baiyan soon set his intentions. All of this was within reason. Dao Sovereign Baiyan wanted to personally ask Zhao Feng about Zhao Yufei's whereabouts. Zhao Feng has returned safely, but there's no news of my disciple. Although he told me some things, I'm still suspicious. Taoist Sovereign Baiyun's voice became colder as his powerful spiritual sense spread across the headquarters of the Iron Blood religion. Chapter 524. In just a few breaths, the headquarters of the Iron Blood religion was scanned by Tao Sovereign Baiyun's spiritual sense. Within the headquarters, the members of the Iron Blood religion all felt an obscure yet enormous mental energy. They felt as if they were being suppressed by a vast ocean and that their bodies and minds were being penetrated. That invisible spiritual pressure made one feel flustered and suffocated, making it difficult to breathe. This was because Tao's Sovereign Baiyun was trying his best to find Zhao Feng's location. If he used his full strength, some of the weaker true spirit realms would probably spit out blood on the spot. Senior Tao Sovereign, Zhao Feng really isn't in the headquarters. He went out to cultivate a few days ago, and no one knows where he went. Tianma sighed and shook his head. He could still remember the scene of the little thieving cat on Zhao Feng's shoulder, throwing the old bronze coins into the air. However, Tao's Sovereign Baiyun obviously didn't believe it. Otherwise, he wouldn't have spread his spiritual sense across the entire headquarters. Behind Tao's Sovereign Baiyun is the Heavenly Yuan clan, one of the 10 great clans. Patriarch Hong's heart jumped, and he broke out in cold sweat for Zhao Feng. Tao's Sovereign Baiyun had a high status and prestige among the sovereigns of the continent. He was also very experienced. Even Patriarch Hong might not be Tao Sovereign Baiyun's match at his peak. Furthermore, Patriarch Hong hadn't fully recovered yet. Putting aside the number of sovereigns, the Heavenly Yuan clan was one of the 10 great clans and had reached the threshold of a 1-star clan. Their foundation far surpassed the Iron Blood religion. That brat really isn't here? Tao Sovereign Baiyun took back his spiritual sense and apologized to Patriarch Hong. He had controlled himself in the search just then and didn't release his sovereign aura because he was wary of Patriarch Hong. In the search, Tao Sovereign Baiyun also found the overwhelming prodigy Yu Qianhao. Qianhao, you're also here? Tao Sovereign Baiyun's voice was friendly, and he had a faint smile on his face. Shua, Yu Qianhao stepped into the side hall. His speed had surpassed normal half-step origin core realms. Hee, so you're also here to find Zhao Feng? After asking, Tao Master Baiyun was shocked when he got the answer. That's right, but I can't wait too long. Yu Qianhao answered. Tao Master Baiyun couldn't help but think Yu Qianhao's father, Yu Xingqian, is one of the strongest venerables on the continent. Moreover, the Yu family's background was not simple at all. With Yu Qianhao's talent, it would be extremely easy for him to enter the Three Saints Palace. He could have done it 10 years ago. However, Yu Qianhao had yet to join the Three Saints Temple. In the blink of an eye, several months had passed. Canopy great country, transverse water bay in the depths of a rapidly flowing river stood several precipitous cliffs. The surroundings were verdant, but the air was steaming with water vapor, obstructing one's vision for several li. At the top of the cliff, in the center of the misty area, a blue-haired youth sat cross-legged. Buzz from time to time, deep blue electric arcs would appear in the surrounding mist. An invisible cold wind would linger in the surroundings like a sharp blade. The blue-haired youth didn't move at all. His body was surrounded by a layer of wind and lightning light patterns, which were deep green and translucent. Bang! Upon closer inspection, there were traces of faint purple aura within the dark green wind lightning, which took up about 1/10 of the original green wind lightning. As the faint purple aura moved, it gave off an aura of destruction. This aura of destruction caused the insects and beasts within several li to instinctively become uneasy. Just like before a great disaster, some insects and beasts would instinctively feel danger. As time passed, the wisps of purple aura seemed to have merged with the dark green wind and lightning. Wong, a ball of lightning appeared in the blue-haired youth's palm, and a faint purple light could be seen at the center of it. In that instant, the aura of the original azure ball of wind, lightning more than doubled. Although it seemed silent, it became deeper and a whirlpool appeared in the air. That destructive and tyrannical aura suddenly spread out, and everything within a 10-mile radius became deathly silent. Meow meow. A silver-gray cat appeared on the youth's shoulder, as if it had been disturbed. The intent of this purple wind lightning is indeed strong. One portion of this purple wind lightning is comparable to more than 10 portions of the original azure wind lightning. Excitement flashed in Zhao Feng's eyes. After leaving the purple saint ruins, Zhao Feng's comprehension of the wind lightning tablet had increased. According to logic, normally one needed to be at the half-step origin core realm in order to comprehend and cultivate the purple wind lightning. However, Zhao Feng's source of mental energy was strong and his comprehension was extraordinary. He had already tried to comprehend the purple wind lightning before he reached the true Lord rank. Now, Zhao Feng's soul was comparable to the origin core realm, and his mental energy level wasn't much different from the half-step origin core realm. Over the past several months, his comprehension of the purple wind lightning had increased greatly. Wang, the ball of lightning in Zhao Feng's palm, was faintly purple, and the outside was turning azure. The degree of fusion between the two was increasing. With the purple wind lightning as the core, the power of the azure wind lightning has more than doubled. A smile appeared on Zhao Feng's face. He was very satisfied. One had to know that Zhao Feng didn't even use the purple wind lightning when fighting the three-eyed saint. He only used it when dodging the forbidden eye bloodline technique. In comparison, the purple wind lightning that Zhao Feng had comprehended was more than twice as strong as before. More importantly, after comprehending the purple wind lightning and merging it into his wind lightning energy core, his control over it became stronger. Shua! Zhao Feng waved his hand, and the ball of lightning disappeared along with the purple aura. I've been cultivating for more than 2 months. I wonder what the situation is like in the Canopy Great Country after Patriarch Hong comes out. Zhao Feng finally remembered his position as the deputy patriarch. Meow meow. The little thieving cat stood on his shoulder and tossed a few copper coins into the air, causing them to jingle as it shook its head. You mean I should continue cultivating? Zhao Feng paused. To a certain extent, he had the little thieving cat to guide him when he went into seclusion. Zhao Feng believed most of the little thieving cat's ability to avoid danger. He thought that cultivating in seclusion in the Iron Blood religion might not be as effective as cultivating here due to the many things he had to do. Therefore, Zhao Feng listened to the little thieving cat's divination. With a sovereign like Patriarch Hong here, I don't need to worry about the Iron Blood religion. Zhao Feng closed his eyes again. For the next few days, he started to comprehend the Wind Lightning Inheritance's combat skills. 10 days later, Zhao Feng had reached a bottleneck in his comprehension of the Wind Lightning Inheritance. Meow meow. The little thieving cat threw the bronze coins and shook its head. Fine. He decided to go in a different direction and merged his consciousness into the Ice Imperial Spear. This time, he focused on his bloodline power and comprehension of the Ice Imperial Spear's profundities. 1 month later, Zhao Feng let out a long breath and came out of his comprehension. This time, when he came out of seclusion and opened his eyes, they flickered with divine light. He was filled with unprecedented confidence. This was the first time Zhao Feng had been in seclusion for 3 to 4 months. I've never been in seclusion for so long. Zhao Feng couldn't help but sigh. It took him less than half a year to go from the 2nd rank to the 7th rank of the martial path. Meow meow. The little thieving cat threw the bronze coins and still didn't want Zhao Feng to return to the Iron Blood religion headquarters so quickly. I've reached a bottleneck in every aspect. There's no point in going into seclusion. Zhao Feng shook his head. 3 to 4 months was the longest he had ever been in seclusion. Furthermore, his comprehension of the Wind Lightning Stone Tablet, the Ice Imperial Spear, and his eye bloodline were all at a bottleneck. He wouldn't be able to break through in a short amount of time. Let's go. Zhao Feng's body was enveloped in a layer of lightning, and he disappeared in a few streaks of azure and purple. Several days later, the headquarters of the Iron Blood religion, a streak of azure and violet light flashed through the clouds, exuding a terrifying destructive aura, and landed in front of a large hall. However, as soon as he landed, Zhao Feng felt that something was wrong. His heart suddenly jumped, and he felt a strong sense of uneasiness. Zhao Feng, if you didn't come back, I was going to leave. A battle-intent-filled voice sounded from the top of a hall. Zhao Feng glanced over and saw a black-haired youth sitting cross-legged in a large hall 100 yards away. Yu Tianhao? Zhao Feng was stunned. Why would Yu Tianhao appear here? Just as he was hesitating, the heaven-earth yuan qi in this area surged like a giant wave in the deep sea, surging with an invisible power that covered the sky and earth. Zhao Feng, I've been waiting for you for several months. A deep and cold voice came from a building in front of them. Shua, a white-robed Taoist, appeared on top of the building in front of Zhao Feng. Sovereign Origin Core Realm. Zhao Feng's heart shook and his body froze. Every breath he took was harder than usual. May I ask, Senior? Zhao Feng felt that this white-robed Taoist was familiar. I'm Zhao Yufei's master, the Grand Elder of the Heavenly Essence Sect. Dao Sovereign Baiyun snorted. Yufei's master? Dao Sovereign Baiyun? Zhao Feng's body shook, and he realized the purpose of this primal core realm supremacy. However, before Zhao Feng could speak, there was another ice-cold power that could freeze the world. It was comparable to Dao Sovereign Baiyun's. Hiss! Zhao Feng shivered and felt like his blood was being frozen. Another primal core realm supremacy. Who was it? Zhao Feng felt that the aura in the cold power was also familiar. She looked up and was startled by what she saw. In the clouds, there was a white-robed beauty holding an ice scepter and wearing an ice crown. She looked like an ice queen descending from the sky. Ice Queen! Zhao Feng took in a cold breath as he recognized the newcomer's identity. This white-robed beauty wearing the Phoenix King ice crown was the leader of the extreme North Mystic Ice Palace. She had appeared at the Northern Star Tower and the Sacred Alliance. Zhao Feng was puzzled when he saw the Mystic Ice Queen. Zhao Feng could guess why Dao Sovereign Baiyun had come all this way to find him. However, the only connection he had with the Ice Queen was her disciple, Goddess Bingwei. However, the enmity between Zhao Feng and Goddess Bingwei was between the younger generation, and it wasn't anything big. Logically speaking, this wasn't enough for the Ice Queen, a sovereign at the Origin Core Realm, to come personally. So, a male and female appeared beside the Ice Queen. One was a golden-haired youth, and the other was an icy beauty. Three-eyed saint, Goddess Bingwei. Zhao Feng's pupils contracted. He had a guess when he saw the three-eyed saint. Zhao Feng, does my father's death have anything to do with you? The three-eyed saint's voice was cold and forceful. Chapter 525. At this moment in time, Zhao Feng could be said to be facing enemies from all sides. None of the figures floating or sitting around him were easy to deal with. Above him was the Mystic Ice Queen, an Origin Core Realm sovereign. To her left and right were the three-eyed saint and Goddess Bingwei. Opposite him was the Grand Elder of the Heavenly Yuan clan, Dao Sovereign Baiyun. Behind him was Yu Tianhao, who was sitting cross-legged in the hall, waiting for the battle. Any one of these people could dominate the cloud area. Dao Sovereign Baiyun and the Mystic Ice Queen stood at the peak of the continent. Zhao Feng, what kind of people did you offend? Patriarch Hong and Tiamat broke out in cold sweat for Zhao Feng, and their eyes were filled with worry. This sudden series of changes caused Zhao Feng to freeze. Zhao Feng, is my father's death related to you? The three-eyed saint's question was very sudden. The three-eyed saint's voice was filled with hatred and killing intent. The golden sun in his third eye was burning with rage. Zhao Feng couldn't help but be surprised. From the three-eyed saint's tone, it seemed like he had some sort of proof. Otherwise, he wouldn't have questioned Zhao Feng right away. Three-eyed saint, don't slander me. You need to prove it. Jiang Sanfeng shouted coldly from the Iron Blood religion. Tiamat smiled faintly. Three-eyed saint, the Canopy Great Country still hasn't received any news of your father's death. How can it be related to Zhao Feng? Hearing this, the other figures of the Iron Blood religion all agreed. Many people were baffled by this. The Golden Sun family was located in the Middle Continent, and the head of the family was an expert of the older generation. On the other hand, Zhao Feng was only a youth in his 20s. There was no enmity between the two of them. In fact, they had never even met before. They were completely unrelated. Proof? There were many witnesses near Golden Sun Sacred City who saw my father and the Grand Elder leave with Zhao Feng. After that, father and the Great Elder never came back. The three-eyed saint's 3 eyes locked on his Zhao Feng and didn't move away for even a second. Three-eyed saint, how did you confirm father's death? Cult leader Hong questioned. Everyone's eyes lit up. This was a crucial point. At that time, my eye bloodline had a bad feeling. According to the records of the Golden Sun family, only those who are related to me by blood and have the Sacred Eye bloodline will be able to sense this. The three-eyed saint's tone became sorrowful. There was a moment of silence. With Tao's sovereign Baiyun and Patriarch Hong's experience, they could naturally tell what the three-eyed saint's bloodline was. The Golden Sun family was one of the most powerful families with inherited bloodlines in the Tianwu continent. Their bloodline system was extremely mature, and this feeling wasn't the first or second time in history. Zhao Feng did not doubt this at all. His god spiritual eye had all sorts of magical sensing abilities, especially the sense of danger. Furthermore, the head of the Golden Sun family and the three-eyed saint were father and son, and they both had the Sacred Eye bloodline. However, at that time, I lost to Zhao Feng and was heavily injured, so I didn't have time to investigate this feeling. However, in the following month, father disappeared. After searching everywhere, I finally found a wisp of my father's bloodline aura in a forest. Only the Golden Sun family can sense this aura. The three-eyed saint took a deep breath. His eyes were bloodshot as he coldly stared at Zhao Feng. It was as if he was certain that Zhao Feng was the culprit, or at the very least, that Zhao Feng was responsible. Everyone looked at each other in disbelief. Firstly, Zhao Feng wasn't present at that time, and he left without saying goodbye to his companions. Goddess Bing Wei's eyes flashed coldly as she scanned over Jiang Sanfeng and Dai Yi. Jiang Sanfeng and Dai Yi's hearts trembled. Indeed, Zhao Feng's sudden departure was very strange. Secondly, there were witnesses who saw the head of the Golden Sun family chase after Zhao Feng. Goddess Bing Wei raised her hand. Shua shua. 3 figures jumped out from the corner, 2 males and 1 female. One of them was at the true mystic rank, while the other 2 were at the true human rank. That's right, we saw the head of the family and an elder wearing a straw hat follow Zhao Feng. The 3 all thought it was Zhao Feng. Instantly, Zhao Feng, who stood in the middle, faced some questioning gazes. All the signs and evidence pointed to Zhao Feng being the cause of the head of the Golden Sun family's death. Zhao Feng, even if you deny it, why did you leave the group? What did you do alone? What happened after the head of the Golden Sun family and the 2 seniors chased after you? Goddess Bing Wei asked a series of questions in an aggressive manner. Zhao Feng remained expressionless and didn't speak. Tao's sovereign Baiyun, you and I can both be witnesses. This Zhao Feng is too suspicious. If the Iron Blood religion doesn't give us a reasonable explanation, we can take him down together and interrogate him. The mystic Ice Queen floated above his head and smiled at Tao's sovereign Baiyun. Patriarch Hong and Tiamat's hearts jumped as they knew things weren't good. This mystic Ice Queen was very powerful. She was a sovereign and might not be able to force Zhao Feng to do anything. But now she was giving Tao sovereign Baiyun an olive branch. If the 2 teamed up and wanted to force Zhao Feng, even Patriarch Hong wouldn't be able to stop them. Patriarch Hong, should you give us an explanation for the death of the head of the Golden Sun family and the whereabouts of my disciple? Tao's sovereign Baiyun didn't immediately say anything and glanced at Patriarch Hong. Zhao Feng's heart jumped. This Tao's sovereign Baiyun wasn't easy to deal with either. Although he didn't immediately team up with the Mystic Ice Queen, he was obviously using the situation to pressure the Iron Blood religion. At this moment, facing the pressure of the 2 sovereigns, Patriarch Hong and Tiamat felt bitter and felt pressured. The Iron Blood religion had just revived and was now facing such danger. One had to know. The Mystic Ice Palace and the Heavenly Yuan sect were both among the top 10 sects of the continent. Zhao Feng, I believe you're not the murderer, and this has nothing to do with you. If they purposely make things difficult for us, The Iron Blood religion won't bow down to anyone. Patriarch Hong looked at Zhao Feng. Apparently, not only the other two sovereigns, but Patriarch Hong also wanted Zhao Feng to give an explanation. That's right. We believe you're not the murderer. The Iron Blood religion was united. Everyone believed in Zhao Feng, the deputy patriarch who had created a legend. These voices made Zhao Feng feel warm. However, he laughed. Everyone, I haven't denied it yet. How can you be sure that I'm not the murderer and that this has nothing to do with me? Hearing this, everyone went silent. The members of the Iron Blood religion, Patriarch Hong, Tianma, and Jiang Sanfeng were dazed. Zhao Feng didn't deny it. There's no need to defend me. The death of the head of the Golden Sun family does have something to do with me. Uncharacteristically, Zhao Feng laughed. He admitted it. He actually admitted it. Everyone's mouths were wide open. The mystic Ice Queen, the three-eyed saint, and Goddess Bing Wei were dazed. Their aggressive questioning was all to force Zhao Feng's mind and find more flaws so that they could find the truth. But in the end, Zhao Feng admitted it without hesitation. Zhao Feng, what are you? Tianma panicked. Could it be that Zhao Feng was afraid of implicating the Iron Blood religion? What's going on? Patriarch Hong's expression changed. He suddenly felt like he couldn't see through Zhao Feng. Zhao Feng, how did my father die? Who's the murderer? Who's the accomplice? The three-eyed saint's eyes turned red as he roared. At this moment, everyone's gazes landed on Zhao Feng. Accomplice? Zhao Feng snickered. I alone am enough to kill your father and the Golden Sun family. Why would I need an accomplice? What? Everyone's hearts shook as they looked at Zhao Feng in disbelief. Impossible. The mystic Ice Queen smiled coldly and shook her head. Absolutely impossible. With my father's strength, even normal half-step origin core realms might not be his match. First Elder is unrivaled under the origin core realm. The three-eyed saint shook his head. The peak experts present all knew how strong the head of the Golden Sun family and the grass-hatted elder were. Even the three-eyed saint didn't believe that Zhao Feng had killed the head of the Golden Sun family and the old man himself. They guessed that this matter might be related to Zhao Feng, but there must be someone else behind it. Zhao Feng, what reason do you have to kill the head of the Golden Sun family? Patriarch Hong sighed in his heart. Zhao Feng, even if you're the culprit, the mystic Ice Queen won't be able to do anything to you without solid evidence. It's simple. The head of the Golden Sun family and the old man wanted to kill me, but I killed them instead. They can only blame themselves for not being skilled enough. Zhao Feng said, so that's how it is. So, you kill them in self-defense. Blood-haired Tianma yelled in realization. Killing in self-defense. The hearts of everyone in the Iron Blood religion shook. The expressions of the mystic Ice Queen and company changed. If that was really the case, then it was completely reasonable for Zhao Feng to kill them in self-defense. If he didn't kill them, he would be killed. On the other hand, the Golden Sun family didn't have much of an excuse. After all, they were the ones who killed them first. Zhao Feng, why will my father kill you for no reason? The three-eyed saint was enraged. Do you even need to think about it? Zhao Feng smiled and revealed a knowing expression. The people present couldn't help but fall into deep thought and came to a sudden realization. Zhao Feng had defeated the three-eyed saint in the Golden Sun Sacred City and obtained the title of the continent's #1 eye bloodline. This was the truth. Therefore, it was normal for the Jinyang family to act out of jealousy and hatred under the humiliation. That's right. Zhao Feng has no reason to kill the head of the Golden Sun family. On the contrary, the Golden Sun family wants Zhao Feng to die. Cult leader Hong threw his head back and laughed, his voice causing the void to tremble slightly. You're slandering me. What proof do you have? The three-eyed saint almost spat out blood. If Zhao Feng really did kill them in self-defense, then the Golden Sun family wouldn't be able to defend themselves. On top of that, the situation would also become a personal grudge between Zhao Feng and the three-eyed saint. If that was the case, no matter if it was the mystic Ice Queen or Dao Sovereign Bai Yun, none of them could stand on the basis of justice and take revenge for him. At the very least, Tao's sovereign Baiyun wouldn't stand on their side. Proof? Didn't the three witnesses personally see the head of the Golden Sun family chase me? Zhao Feng pointed at the three witnesses that the three-eyed saint had brought with him with mockery. Arg! The faces of the three witnesses instantly turned gray. Just then, they had testified that the head of the Golden Sun family and Tao, sovereign Baiyun, had chased after Zhao Feng. In Three-Eyed Saint, if you want to take revenge for your father, you can challenge me now. Chapter 5:26. In Three-Eyed Saint, if you want to take revenge for your father, you can challenge me now. Zhao Feng teased. What he meant was that he was the one who killed your father. If you have the ability, come and kill me. You dash. The three-eyed saint trembled in anger, and his third eye twitched. He almost exploded on the spot. Don't be rash. Goddess Bingwei gritted her teeth and pulled the three-eyed saint back. In reality, her hatred for Zhao Feng wasn't any less than the three-eyed saint's. However, she knew that the three-eyed saint wasn't Zhao Feng's match. Even if the two of them teamed up, they might not have a chance of winning. What big words! The Mystic Ice Queen snickered coldly in the air as her mental energy aura of the Origin Core realm pressed down. In that instant, the upper echelon of the Iron Blood religion felt their blood freeze, and they lost the ability to breathe. Zhao Feng's blue hair blew in the wind. He raised his head and looked coldly at the Mystic Ice Queen. After 3 to 4 months of seclusion, Zhao Feng's strength had increased by leaps and bounds. Although he wasn't a match for an Origin Core realm, he wasn't completely helpless. Facing the Origin Core realm's mental energy pressure, Zhao Feng didn't move and wasn't affected much. When did this brat's soul become so strong? Daoist Baiyun was secretly surprised. The Mystic Ice Queen obviously realized this as well. Zhao Feng's soul power was unbelievably strong and didn't fear the Origin Core realm's mental energy pressure. The soul was the power of the soul. This power was the source of all consciousness and was extremely hard to raise. Normally, the higher one's mental energy level was, the faster one's soul power would increase. At the same time, the stronger one's soul power was, the stronger one's mental energy level would be. Therefore, the power of the soul wasn't the same as the mental energy level. On the other hand, Zhao Feng was only at the True Lord rank, but his soul power was comparable to an Origin Core realm. Zhao Feng didn't have such a terrifying soul power at the Sacred True Dragon Gathering. Qianai's Queen's heart moved. After coming out of that mysterious, unknown inheritance, Zhao Feng's soul strength and cultivation had reached a height that ordinary geniuses wouldn't be able to reach in 100 years. Thinking of this, the Mystic Ice Queen's eyes were filled with a hint of heat. In fact, one of the reasons she came to the Iron Blood religion was to stand up for the three-eyed saint and her disciple. What truly tempted her was the unknown inheritance. Whoosh! Suddenly, a scarlet-red figure radiating the aura of an Origin Core sovereign appeared between the Mystic Ice Queen and Zhao Feng. It was Cult Master Hong. Black Ice Queen. Cult Master Hong said indifferently, "You're a venerable of the older generation. Are you going to interfere in the feud between Zhao Feng and the Three-Eyed Saint?" Zhao Feng only killed the head of the Golden Sun family in self-defense. Since when did the Mystic Ice Palace become unable to differentiate between good and evil? This Patriarch Hong has indeed recovered his strength. Qian Ice Queen's expression changed slightly. Even without that bullshit morality, Patriarch Hong would protect Zhao Feng at all costs. There weren't many geniuses like Zhao Feng in the entire continent. If it was the Heavenly Yuan sect or the Mystic Ice Palace, they would do the same. I just feel that there's something fishy. Does that Zhao Feng really have the ability to kill the head of the Golden Sun family and the Three-Eyed Saint? Furthermore, Sheng is Bing Wei's fiancé. Why can't I stand up for him? The Mystic Ice Queen's eyes twinkled as a faint smile appeared on her face. Goddess Bing Wei's fiancé? Some of the people present could not help but be startled. Although Goddess Bing Wei's excuse was reasonable, it was a bit forced. After all, the head of the Golden Sun family had killed Zhao Feng first. Queen, are you doubting my abilities? If you don't believe me, You can send 2 half-step origin core realms from the Mystic Ice Palace, and let me try killing them. Zhao Feng licked his lips as if he wanted to give it a try. Hearing this, the crowd broke into an uproar. Zhao Feng's arrogant tone could be said to be disrespectful and provocative towards sovereigns. Most people were shocked and doubtful. With the strength that Zhao Feng had displayed, they believed that it was possible for him to beat a normal half-step origin core realm. However, if he killed 2 half-step origin core realms, that would be shocking. Where does this brat get his confidence from? Can he really kill 2 half-step origin core realms? Zhao Feng's confidence made those on the Mystic Ice Queen's side speechless. If you don't believe me, you can try. Zhao Feng wasn't afraid of challenges and tests. However, even forces like the Mystic Ice Palace and Heavenly Yuan sect weren't willing to play around with the lives of 2 half-step origin core realms. All right, everyone. Zhao Feng is indeed the killer of the Golden Sun family's head, but this is a personal grudge between him and the Golden Sun family. If anyone tries to interfere, I won't stand by. Patriarch Hong's voice sounded. The Mystic Ice Queen's expression flickered, but she soon thought of a plan and looked at Dao Sovereign Baiyun. Dao Sovereign Baiyun, you and I both need to interrogate Zhao Feng. Since we have the same goal, why don't we team up and force Patriarch Hong to capture Zhao Feng? The two looked at each other and started to communicate through spiritual sense. Dao Sovereign Baiyun looked deeply at the Mystic Ice Queen, but he didn't reply immediately. Now that the truth had been revealed, the Mystic Ice Queen still wanted to question Zhao Feng. Her intentions could be seen. Even some venerables would be interested in the mysterious and powerful unknown inheritance. It was obvious that the Mystic Ice Queen had ulterior motives. Patriarch Hong and the Mystic Ice Queen looked at each other and communicated through spiritual sense. This didn't escape Patriarch Hong, Tiamat, and company. This Mystic Ice Queen doesn't come with good intentions. Patriarch Hong's heart jumped. A few breaths later, Dao, Sovereign Baiyun, and the Mystic Ice Queen looked at each other, and their figures flickered. Shua! The two sovereigns attacked Zhao Feng and Patriarch Hong. Dao Sovereign Baiyun, what is the meaning of this? Patriarch Hong's expression changed. Dao Sovereign Baiyun's eyes were calm as he smiled. I just want to know about Yufei's situation from Zhao Feng. I have no ill intentions. The Mystic Ice Queen's mouth turned cold. She was helping Dao Sovereign Baiyun unconditionally. How could he reject her? One was the Iron Blood sect that had just started to rise. The other was the Mystic Ice Palace. Dao Sovereign Baiyun obviously didn't want to offend the latter. Furthermore, the Mystic Ice Queen and Dao Sovereign Baiyun both wanted to interrogate Zhao Feng. This situation made the higher-ups of the Iron Blood sect feel like they were facing a great enemy. Patriarch Hong and the Deputy Patriarch of the Iron Blood sect were anxious. Facing two sovereigns at the same time was probably beyond the Iron Blood sect's limit. But Zhao Feng, the person in question, was not the slightest bit panicked. At this moment, an indifferent and powerful voice sounded. No one can interfere with the battle between me and Zhao Feng. The voice came from a cold, black-haired youth in the hall. Yu Qianhao. Everyone was dazed. Unknowingly, they had almost forgotten about this person who was on the same level as Zhao Feng. Shua. Yu Qianhao stepped forward and arrived next to Zhao Feng. Yu Qianhao, what are you? Zhao Feng didn't understand. This was his personal matter. Why should Yu Qianhao interfere? Before the battle, I won't allow you to be hurt. Whoever wants to be enemies with Zhao Feng will have to go through me first. Yu Qianhao and Zhao Feng stood side by side. Facing the two sovereigns, Yu Qianhao wasn't scared at all. There was excitement in his eyes, and the blood in his body seemed to be burning, releasing a powerful battle intent. That formless battle intent gave rise to a spiritual will that looked down on everything, surpassing the shackles of cultivation. At that moment, the minds of the two venerable ones were slightly shaken. Putting aside his cultivation base and conception, Yu Qianhao's willpower, which was formed by his fighting spirit, could even reach the supremacy realm. So terrifying. Could this be the legendary, unparalleled heaven-battling bloodline of the Yu family? Wariness appeared in the eyes of the two sovereigns. The unparalleled heaven-battling bloodline within Yu Tianhao's body was definitely a forbidden legend. The mental energy contained within it even shocked sovereigns. More importantly, the two sovereigns were wary of Yu Tianhao's father, Yu Xingqian, and the Yu family's background. Yu Tianhao, I don't mind if you interfere, but this is my personal business. But this is my personal matter. How can I let you take the lead alone? Zhao Feng's voice was filled with confidence as he slowly stepped forward. In that instant, the god's spiritual eye opened, and waves of blue eye bloodline aura spread across the mental energy dimension. A powerful surge of soul power surged from Zhao Feng's body and connected with the god's spiritual eye. How was this possible? Such powerful eye bloodline power. The three-eyed saint's sacred eye trembled in fear, and he felt like he couldn't breathe. Even the hearts of the two martial highnesses skipped a beat, leaving them in a daze. Zhao Feng's eye bloodline power had reached the level where he could try to break through to the origin core realm. When had such a monstrous genius ever appeared in the Azure Flower continent? At this moment, Yu Tianhao's mental energy intent and Zhao Feng's terrifying eye bloodline power formed a force that shocked even sovereigns. These two auras had both reached the level where they could break through to the origin core realm. Pung, pung. Everyone below the primal core realm felt their souls shake. This was insane. The two most dazzling heavens chosen kings of the current era would actually join forces and fight side by side. Their opponent wasn't a true lord rank or a half-step origin core realm, but a sovereign who stood at the peak of the continent. Your suggestion isn't bad. My bloodline seems to be burning. Excitement appeared on Yu Tianhao's face. No matter how arrogant he was, he knew that his chances of winning against a sovereign were slim. However, if he teamed up with Zhao Feng, anything was possible. Instantly, the situation changed. Yu Tianhao, who was originally challenging Zhao Feng, suddenly teamed up with his opponent. The two stood back-to-back with Patriarch Hong. Patriarch Hong faced the Mystic Ice Queen, while Zhao Feng and Yu Tianhao faced Dao Sovereign Baiyan. Maybe they really can do it. Cult leader Hong felt an indomitable will to press forward and look down on everything from the two heavens chosen ones. The combined confidence and aura of the two overwhelming prodigies seemed to be able to suppress even sovereigns. The three sovereigns felt like they had aged when facing the two overwhelming prodigies. This kind of hot-blooded fighting spirit was something they couldn't have. It was because of this. Zhao Feng and Yu Tianhao were the two overwhelming prodigies, but the sovereigns could only look up to them when they were young. Chapter 5:27. In the air, Dao Sovereign Baiyun and the Mystic Ice Queen were dazed. No one doubted that the two overwhelming prodigies could create a miracle if they teamed up. The mental energy that had merged into one and was not afraid of any challenge even caused the hearts of the three martial highnesses to tremble slightly. The two overwhelming prodigies teaming up might actually be able to challenge a sovereign. The blood-haired Tiamat had a misconception. Even though logic told him that the chance of winning against a sovereign was small, Patriarch Hong's eyes twinkled. Patriarch Hong's eyes twinkled, and his heart was filled with hot-bloodedness. He seemed to find a shadow of himself in Zhao Feng and Yu Tianhao. However, even when he was younger, he didn't have the courage of Zhao Feng and Yu Tianhao. Challenging a sovereign. At first, cult leader Hong was also startled by the behavior of the two men. These two people were too daring. But then, Zhao Feng and Yu Tianhao's battle intent had reached a level where they could fight against sovereigns, which shocked him. Being a sovereign, Patriarch Hong knew the difference between the true lord rank and the origin core realm. This could be seen from how Elder Silence Kill had killed the head of the Golden Sun family and First Elder as easily as cutting vegetables. However, Zhao Feng and Yu Tianhao were the overwhelming prodigies of dozens of eras and were the embodiment of miracles. Although logic didn't think it was possible, Patriarch Hong had a sense of expectation and confidence in the two. The two of you need to think this through. Cult leader Hong spoke slowly with a profound meaning in his words. Zhao Feng and Yu Tianhao's determination was firm, and they weren't moved. However, Dao's sovereign Baiyun and the mystic Ice Queen's expressions changed. So, Patriarch Hong's words were directed at the two sovereigns. The expressions of the two sovereigns became solemn and didn't dare to underestimate Zhao Feng and Yu Tianhao. Just like Patriarch Hong, they didn't believe that the two overwhelming prodigies could fight against a sovereign. However, the mental energy, intent, and eye bloodline power of the two overwhelming prodigies swept across the hearts of the sovereigns. The hearts of the two sovereigns couldn't help but waver. Maybe they really could do it. Standing in front of them were the prodigies of dozens of eras. They themselves were miracles. Even someone as powerful as a venerable one dared not doubt the unseen power of this era. Zhao Feng, I've long heard that you and Yufei are childhood sweethearts. Is there a need for us to fight to the point where we can't get along? Dao Master Baiyun let out a bitter sigh. The aura of the martial highness realm that was emitted from his body instantly dissipated. The people of the Iron Blood religion let out a breath, but at the same time, they were confused. Cult leader Hong and Tiamat looked at each other. The corners of their mouths curled into a smile. At this moment, even someone as powerful as the Venerable One made a small concession. Daoist Baiyun actually backed down. The mystic Ice Queen gritted her teeth. However, in the face of the two heavens, chosen ones of the present age who were teaming up side by side, the kind of fighting spirit that could destroy everything made her want to retreat. First, on the spiritual level, the aura of the two kings of the prodigies seemed to be able to suppress the Venerable One. Secondly, no one wanted to be enemies with two king of prodigies at the same time. You should know, Zhao Feng and Yu Tianhao's achievements had surpassed the Scarlet Moon Religion Patriarch and Sword Saint Yi Wuxia when they were young. If there were no accidents, they would be the future kings of the continent. If they won, as the old sovereigns that stood at the peak of the continent, their faces weren't bright. Furthermore, they might become enemies with the two king of prodigies. If they lost, or if they fought to a draw. This was the situation that the two sovereigns didn't dare to face. Furthermore, they felt that it was possible. In other words, no matter if they won or lost, it would only be bad for the two sovereigns. Under such circumstances, it was no wonder that Dao Master Baiyun would give up at the last minute. Senior Baiyun, if you're sincere about Yufei and the unknown inheritance, we can talk about it in private. Zhao Feng slowly retracted his eye bloodline power and became more polite. Before this, the reason why he didn't talk to Dao Master Baiyun was mainly because of the latter's arrogance. Dao Master Baiyun came to the Iron Blood religion with an overbearing and condescending aura. Facing that questioning attitude, Zhao Feng wouldn't give him the cold shoulder. However, at this moment, Dao Master Baiyun's heart was shaken by the fighting spirit of the two heavens favorites. He was finally willing to put down his venerable attitude and sincerely talk to them. Sure, I also want to meet the person that Yufei admires. Dao Master Baiyun smiled and nodded his head. Seeing Zhao Feng and Dao Master Baiyun reach an agreement, the expression of the mystic Ice Queen changed. From the situation, it seemed that Zhao Feng and Dao Master Baiyun wanted to talk privately and exclude the mystic Ice Queen. Dao Master Baiyun, do you really believe this brat's words? In front of great benefits, even brothers and sisters will harm themselves. That Zhao Feng came out of the unknown inheritance, but your disciple didn't. Who can be sure that it wasn't him? The mystic Ice Queen suddenly laughed. What do you mean? Dao Master Baiyun's expression became solemn, and he was slightly unhappy. I'm just worried that you'll be tricked by this brat's words. I believe that even Patriarch Hong will be interested in the unknown inheritance. There's some secret that you can't let us know. The mystic Ice Queen's tone was slightly harsh. The reason why she teamed up with Dao Master Baiyun was for the unknown inheritance. Now that she was being excluded, she was obviously angry. Hearing this, Dao Master Baiyun couldn't help but hesitate. He didn't want to offend the mystic Ice Queen and make enemies with the mystic Ice Palace. Furthermore, he felt that the mystic Ice Queen's words weren't completely unreasonable. I only want to talk to Senior Baiyun in private. If Senior has any doubts, I'll only say 5 words, and it might prove everything. Zhao Feng didn't back down. What 5 words? The gazes of the 3 sovereigns and the other experts all landed on Zhao Feng. 10,000 ancient races, Zhao Feng said word by word. Wait, I believe you. Dao Master Baiyun's expression changed, and he interrupted Zhao Feng's words. 10,000 ancient races. Just as Zhao Feng said the 4th word, he was interrupted by Dao Master Baiyun. The other 2 sovereigns and the other experts couldn't help but think, but they didn't really understand. Let's talk in private. Dao Master Baiyun looked deeply at Zhao Feng. The secret of Zhao Yufei's bloodline, coming from the 10,000 ancient races, was only known by Dao Master Baiyun and another sovereign. Even Zhao Yufei herself didn't know this secret. This had always been Dao Master Baiyun's secret. This secret, he didn't dare say it because the bloodline inheritance of the 10,000 ancient races was too shocking. Even the heavenly Yuan sect of the 10 great clans might not be able to handle the consequences. Shua, Zhao Feng, and Dao Master Baiyun flashed into a hall within the Iron Blood religion. This Zhao Feng is indeed interesting. I'm looking forward to fighting alongside him. Yu Qianhao watched as the 2 of them left. He took out a special token with a mysterious ripple. He glanced at it and sighed. Unfortunately, I don't have much time left. Let's go. Mystic Ice Queen gritted her teeth. She was filled with hatred. However, she knew that Zhao Feng had already gained Dao Master Baiyun's trust. It would be hard for her to get a share of the unknown inheritance. Take care, cult leader Hong said in a neutral tone. Tiamat couldn't help letting out a long sigh of relief. This crisis had finally been resolved. One of the 2 sovereigns was appeased by Zhao Feng, while the other left in anger. Yu Qianhao, thank you for your help. Bloodhair Tiamat smiled. He knew that the reason why Dao Master Baiyun gave in was because of Yu Qianhao's powerful background. I'm not helping the Iron Blood religion. I'm just helping Zhao Feng. Yu Qianhao didn't hold back at all. The crimson-haired Tiamat was speechless and immediately felt somewhat awkward. Huh. Patriarch Hong and company couldn't help but laugh. This Yu Qianhao really didn't give them any face. At this moment in time, Zhao Feng and Dao Master Baiyun were discussing in the hall while the outer disciples were waiting. Cult Master Hong, Tiamat, Yu Qianhao, and the others, including the Black Ice Queen, were all very interested and curious about the unknown inheritance and Zhao Yufei's whereabouts. However, Zhao Feng was only willing to discuss this secret with Dao Master Baiyun in private. The hall was filled with a heavy aura. You're saying that because Yufei has the bloodline of the 10,000 ancient races, she was chosen to be the inheritor of the ruins? Dao Master Baiyun was worried. Zhao Feng didn't go into too much detail about the Purple Saint ruins, but he gave a simple summary of the situation. Before leaving the ruins, Yufei had told Zhao Feng to tell Dao Master Baiyun about her safety. When he knew that the 3 two-star sects had their eyes on the ruins, Dao Master Baiyun's hair stood on end. I didn't think Yufei's situation would be so dangerous. Dao Master Baiyun felt uneasy. I hope Senior can keep this information a secret. Don't tell anyone else. Otherwise, not to mention the Heavenly Branch sect, the entire Azure Flower domain might face a calamity. Zhao Feng emphasized. Dao Master Baiyun's heart jumped. This secret was the same as Zhao Yufei's 10,000 ancient races bloodline. It couldn't be easily revealed. If Dao Master Baiyun didn't want to bring trouble to the Heavenly Yuan sect, he would keep his mouth shut. Of course, there was also a big secret that Zhao Feng didn't say. That was the Purple Saint token. With the Purple Saint token, Zhao Feng could contact the Purple Saint ruins and even open another inheritance path to return to the Purple Saint ruins. A while later, the 2 walked out of the hall. Zhao Feng's expression was calm. On the other hand, Dao Master Baiyun's emotions were unstable, as if he was surprised. Patriarch Hong, Tiamat, and company clicked their tongues. They were naturally interested, but they didn't ask. On the same day, Dao Master Baiyun didn't leave immediately. Instead, he took the initiative to talk to Patriarch Hong about the alliance between the Heavenly Yuan sect and the Iron Blood religion. Patriarch Hong was extremely surprised. The Heavenly Yuan sect, one of the top 10 great sects, had taken the initiative to form an alliance with the Iron Blood religion. At the same time, a battle between the top prodigies of the continent had begun, a few hundred miles away in the clouds. Zhao Feng, time is running out. I'll leave the Azure Flower continent after this battle. I believe you won't disappoint me. Chapter 528. The headquarters of the Iron Blood religion, near a mountain a few hundred miles away. Is it about to start? Jiang Sanfeng, Dai Yi, and company looked expectantly at the two figures on the mountain. Near the mountain, there were also the upper echelon of the Iron Blood religion, including the deputy patriarch, protectors, elders, and chapter leaders. Everyone's attention was completely focused. Their faces were filled with anticipation and faint excitement as they watched the battle that was about to begin above the clouds. Shua! Shua! Two powerful auras appeared at the foot of the mountain, and the heaven-earth yuan qi in the area started to revolve around them. Patriarch, Senior Bai Yun, the spectators of the Iron Blood religion felt their hearts sink as they felt an irresistible force. The two people were Patriarch Hong and Dao Sovereign Bai Yun. The hearts of Jiang Sanfeng and company jumped. They didn't think that even sovereigns would come to watch the battle between the younger generation of prodigies. At this moment, the battle on the cloud was about to start. The first to attack was Yu Tianhao, and he used his signature move. Unparalleled in the world, a powerful mental energy intent appeared from Yu Tianhao's body. Boom! With the naked eye, one could only see an unparalleled and magnificent palm light, like a mysterious aurora that traversed the heavens and the earth. Wherever the palm passed, it seemed to become the center of nature, drawing in the boundless and domineering power of Yuan Qi, suppressing all things. That palm's intent realm was similar to that of a venerable realm cultivator's due to his strong willpower. The hearts of the spectators below trembled as if they couldn't breathe, and their faces turned red. As expected of Yu Tianhao, with this intent and cultivation, it's not impossible for him to reach the sovereign realm in 10 years. Patriarch Hong and Dao Sovereign Bai Yun's eyes lit up. As for Zhao Feng, who was facing this palm head-on, his body felt minuscule, like a mantis trying to stop a chariot, resisting the might of nature. Of course, this was an illusion brought about by the intent realm. The power of Zhao Feng's soul surpassed Yu Tianhao's, so he wouldn't feel any pressure. I have ice soul shooting line. Zhao Feng's left eye switched, and a translucent ray of light shot out from it. The dark blue ray of light emitted a bone-chilling coldness that struck one's soul and struck Yu Tianhao before he could react, and it pierced through space to strike Yu Tianhao. Boom! Yu Tianhao's body froze as he was struck by the dark blue beam of light. A terrifying icy power seeped into his mind from his physical body. His entire body froze, his attack slowed, and he was basically interrupted. Break! Yu Tianhao's invisible mental was like an indestructible blade. It was several times more condensed and tyrannical than a normal sword intent. It shattered the endless corrosive coldness. Yu Tianhao easily shattered the Ice Soul Ray, which carried a chilling mental attack. Meanwhile, Claw of Wind and Thunder. As Zhao Feng waved his hand, a glistening and translucent giant claw that was surrounded by arcs of lightning and had a faint trace of purple light faintly suffused within it. The claw covered an area of a few hundred feet and just happened to block Yu Tianhao's tyrannical attack. Shu Shu, Feng Ying's giant claw, which was surrounded by lightning, collided with the palm power that was as beautiful as an aurora, creating a terrifying explosion. The layers of clouds were shattered, emitting a destructive aura. Under the powerful shockwave, Zhao Feng's blue hair and clothes blew in the wind as he was forced back several steps. Unparalleled in the sacred True Dragon gathering had been broken by Zhao Feng in such a way. Many of the spectators below were dumbfounded by what they saw. Zhao Feng's control of the situation is unparalleled. Deputy Patriarch Tianma sighed. Yu Tianhao's attack was unstoppable for those below the Origin Core realm. Only a small number of half-step Origin Core realms could block it head-on and not be injured. However, Zhao Feng wouldn't allow Yu Qianhao to attack first and use the Ice Soul shooting line to weaken the opponent's attack. At this point in time, Yu Qianhao was barely able to dissolve the effects of the Ice Soul shooting line. Shua! Before he could even attack, a layer of ripples of wind and lightning arose in the surroundings, and then layer upon layer of chains of wind and lightning suddenly formed and restrained Yu Qianhao. So fast, only then did everyone see a blue-haired youth surrounded by wind and lightning appear next to Yu Qianhao. He quickly released a range of wind and lightning chains to restrain his opponent. Yu Qianhao's expression changed dramatically as the numbing sensation from the lightning and the wind pressure made him fall into a disadvantageous situation. Unparalleled secret technique, chaotic dance of spring and autumn. His body erupted with a dazzling light as his intent swelled. He was like a god of war as he punched out with his palms and fists. Enormous fists and palms flew through the air like glittering crystal mountains, crushing down on Zhao Feng in every direction. At that moment, Yu Qianhao's every palm and punch contained a powerful mental energy intent that attacked the opponent's cultivation and soul. Even though Zhao Feng's soul was strong, his state of mind was still being attacked. If it was a normal peak True Lord rank, their state of mind would collapse after 1 or 2 rounds of attacks. That was because Yu Qianhao's will was able to drive an extremely strong intent realm, which was similar to the realm of supremacies. Crack! Crack! The chains of wind and lightning around Zhao Feng were shattered by the fists and palms. Wang! Zhao Feng's expression changed as a ball of lightning appeared in his palm. In the middle of it was a whirlpool, and there was a purple dot of light that gave off a terrifying aura. Wind lightning tornado. As the ball of lightning twisted and spun, it suddenly expanded and expanded. Its center was like a bottomless abyss, and it was driven by a vortex-shaped purple dot of light. A huge lightning storm appeared around it, and its diameter grew larger and larger. In an instant, it reached a radius of 1,000 feet. Boom! The enormous lightning tornado, which emitted a trace of astonishing destructive aura, engulfed Yu Qianhao in the range of his unparalleled chaotic dance of spring and autumn. In just a few breaths, the sky above the mountain seemed to shatter and lightning flashed. Boom! Occasionally, a wisp of lightning would land and leave a crater dozens of yards wide. Everyone watch out! The upper echelon of the Iron Blood religion panicked as they tried to deal with the unpredictable shockwave. The battle between the two overwhelming prodigies had created a storm of aura that would kill anyone at the true spirit realm. Unparalleled secret technique, chaotic dance of spring and autumn. Yu Qianhao was like a god of war, and although his attacks didn't seem to have any technique, they were able to seal everything nearby. Zhao Feng's wind lightning tornado was soon broken. I can't let him get close. Zhao Feng's heart shook. At this moment in time, Yu Qianhao was like a god that could kill anything in front of him. In terms of close combat, he indeed didn't have any advantage. Shua! Zhao Feng turned into a blur of lightning and used his speed to increase the distance between him and Yu Qianhao by 1 to 200 yards. However, Yu Qianhao wasn't a normal person either. He crossed half a mile in a single step and closed in. Unparalleled! Yu Qianhao's body surged with a powerful will that could sweep through the world. Boom! A dazzling and mysterious giant palm of aurora, surrounded by traces of ice-cold crystal brilliance, resonated with the mighty yuan qi of the world. Wherever it passed, all things were crushed, and it seemed to have swallowed and assimilated an area of the world. At that instant, everything within a few miles seemed to be engulfed by this unparalleled palm. The sun and moon in the sky seemed to be swallowed, and everything lost its color. The expressions of the two sovereigns below changed slightly. The hairs of the spectators stood on end, and they felt as if they were facing a demonic god. The same palm appeared once more after Golden Sun's sacred city, and its power had increased by more than 50%. What a powerful palm! Zhao Feng's heart shook, and his intent was impacted like never before. He couldn't help but take a deep breath. Suddenly, a faint purple light, core the size of a thumb, appeared in his palm. It was surrounded by layers of lightning balls, and its color became darker and darker. Finally, it fused with the faint purple light core in the middle. That's... The hearts of the two sovereigns below jumped as they felt a destructive aura. The faint purple core was the purple power of wind lightning that Zhao Feng had cultivated. It was surrounded by pure azure wind lightning. When that aura spread out, all living beings within a radius of 5 kilometers felt as if they were facing a natural disaster and were suffocating. Not a sound could be heard. Purple destruction, wind, lightning break. The faint purple core in Zhao Feng's palm twisted into a whirlpool and merged with the azure wind lightning around it. It turned into a beam of azure and purple light that brought with it a forbidden aura. Boom, boom, boom. The sky was filled with two powerful forces that swallowed and destroyed each other. The spectators below were shocked and speechless. At this moment, they couldn't see the figures fighting above. They could only see the cold crystal light and the azure and purple light entangling with each other in a lightning storm. A few breaths later, as the purplish-green light shattered, wisps of destructive aura spread out. Pucci, Yu Qianhao's body shook, and blood was left on his shoulder as he groaned. At the same time, the outline of the giant palm didn't dissipate. It passed through the wind-lightning tornado and exploded in front of Zhao Feng. Bam! The domineering power sent Zhao Feng flying dozens of yards, and blood leaked out his mouth. A layer of mysterious blue water appeared on Zhao Feng's body, and under this nourishment, the light injury was healed in just 2 breaths. Below the mountain, the spectators held their breaths, as if they hadn't recovered from the shock. Zhao Feng's wind lightning seems to contain a wisp of destruction that's close to the origin. Patriarch Hong and Dao, Sovereign Baiyun, looked at each other in surprise. The wisp of destruction power was still in its infancy, but it had already shocked the two sovereigns. If it was several times stronger, the consequences would be unimaginable. Yu Qianhao's palm just now can severely injure a half-step origin core realm. Luckily, Zhao Feng has comprehended a wisp of destruction wind lightning. The blood-haired Tianma let out a breath. In the current situation, Zhao Feng had the upper hand. This was mainly because Zhao Feng's bloodline recovery speed was too strong. Normal injuries could be healed in an instant. This meant that Zhao Feng wouldn't lose in a battle against someone at the same cultivation level. Wind lightning, eye flame. Zhao Feng didn't wait for Yu Qianhao to attack. His left eye turned azure, and azure flames of wind and lightning flashed within it. There was even a faint purple flame at the center of it. Whoosh! A translucent beam of wind lightning flame, with a faint purple flame heart beating within, twisted into a ball of wind that emitted a destructive and tyrannical aura. It whistled through the air as it struck Yu Qianhao. Yu Qianhao harumphed as he fell into danger. The wind lightning eye flame contained a wisp of the purple destruction flame that was part of the purple wind lightning. It destroyed one's life force and caused injuries that were hard to recover from. The power of the wind lightning eye flame also spread to one's soul. Chapter 529. With his control of the situation, Zhao Feng quickly pushed Yu Qianhao into a dangerous situation. This was something that hadn't happened in the past 2 sacred true dragon gatherings. However, being the current overwhelming prodigies, their existence was a miracle. The deputy patriarch has the upper hand. The crowd below held their breaths as excitement flashed through their eyes. The power of the purple destruction wind lightning is indeed strong. Zhao Feng floated in the air as his blue robe flapped in the wind. After 3 to 4 months of seclusion, his comprehension of the purple destruction wind lightning destruction had increased by leaps and bounds. The purple destruction wind lightning destruction and the wind lightning eye flame both contained the power of purple wind lightning and used it as the core. The final power had toppled the world's understanding. With Zhao Feng's early stage, true Lord rank cultivation, Any one of these two moves could heavily injure or even kill a half-step Origin Core realm. On the other side, boom! In just a breath's time, Yu Qianhao's injuries became bigger. The attack of the Wind Lightning Eye Flame had pierced through both the mental energy and physical dimensions. Because it had merged the power of the Purple Destruction Wind Lightning, its destructive power was shocking. Both Yu Qianhao's soul and body had been injured. This was only because he had incredible mental energy intent. If it was someone else at the same level as him, their soul would have been heavily injured by Zhao Feng already. If this continues, Yu Qianhao will most likely lose. Zhao Feng's improvement is shocking. The eyes of the two sovereigns lit up. The advantage Zhao Feng had now wasn't just his own strength, but his control over the situation, etc. Zhao Feng, you didn't disappoint me. The black-haired youth in the Wind Lightning Eye Flame's bloodline started to burn. Woo! With the naked eye, one could only see a layer of ancient and mysterious cold and faint shadow in the shape of a human figure, overlapping with Yu Qianhao's body. Suddenly, Yu Qianhao's body emitted a dim but beautiful light that was blinding to the eyes. His body ignited a spiritual battle intent that shot into the sky. The cold figure could only be sensed through mental energy and overlapped with Yu Qianhao. The two were one. Destroy. Yu Qianhao's arms shook, overlapping with his icy cold faint shadow. His movements were exactly the same, as if he was possessed by the god of war. Each and every one of his movements was filled with an unparalleled spiritual battle will, destroying all gods and ghosts in the heavens and annihilating all void forces. With a whoosh, the power from the Wind Lightning Eye Flame shattered. Unparalleled in the world, Yu Qianhao seemed to be possessed by a god of war as he struck out with his palm. A mysterious and magnificent palm light traversed the heavens and the earth, and the might of the heaven and earth yuan qi that was triggered by the palm was almost twice as strong as before. Moreover, that attack contained a terrifying battle intent. It was as if it had materialized and impacted one's soul and mental state. That palm strike could be said to shock the heavens and the earth, and it was as if it was executed by a completely different person. Zhao Feng's mind was shaken, and a trace of shock appeared on his face. Before the attack arrived, the burning fighting will was like a huge wave, battering his mind and mind. Luckily, Zhao Feng's soul was extremely strong. Normal peak True Lord ranks, or even half-step Origin Core realms would have collapsed. Purple Destruction, Wind Lightning Destruction. Zhao Feng took a deep breath as a faint purple core appeared in his palm. It was surrounded by azure wind and lightning and shot out a purple and azure beam of light that contained a forbidden aura. Bong! Like a landslide, the two extreme forces collided with each other. Yu Qianhao's unparalleled in the world seemed to have the upper hand in this clash, and his palm shot toward Zhao Feng. Wang! Zhao Feng reacted extremely quickly, a barrier of water as deep as the sea appearing on his body to block the shock waves of that powerful attack. However, even then his figure was pushed back dozens of yards. He's clearly injured, so how did his battle power suddenly increase so much? Zhao Feng's breathing was hurried. He opened his god spirit eye and saw through Yu Tianhao. The icy shadows that overlapped on Yu Tianhao's body originated from a mysterious bloodline that was stimulated by his strong fighting spirit. This bloodline was connected to the mental energy and was ethereal. Even Zhao Feng's god's spiritual eye couldn't see through it, much less copy battle skills. Unparalleled heaven battling bloodline. Patriarch Hong and Dao Sovereign Baiyun exclaimed at the same time. At this moment, Yu Qianhao's bloodline power had been activated, and his battle power rose dramatically. It was as if he had been possessed by the god of war. Yu Qianhao's every move contained a mental battle intent that could suppress experts below the primal core realm. Furthermore, that mysterious bloodline power had an incredible amplification effect on one's battle skills and intents. Unparalleled secret technique, chaotic dance of spring and autumn. Yu Tianhao's black hair blew in the wind, and a bright light covered his body, as if he was wearing the armor of the god of war. At this instant, Both his offense and defense had increased dramatically. Pung! As Yu Qianhao's fists and palms blasted out, a series of enormous fist lights and palm shadows appeared. Each palm strike contained an unparalleled spiritual battle intent, crushing everything in its path. He's possessed by the god of war. Tianma, Jiang Sanfeng, and company were stunned. The hearts of those from the iron blood religion rose to their throats. Everyone could only watch as Yu Qianhao turned the situation around and forced Zhao Feng back again and again with a domineering aura. A few breaths later, tung, 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 Zhao Feng retreated, and the water barrier around him dimmed by more than half. Even if he circulated the power of the purple wind lightning to the maximum, he could only barely clash with Yu Qianhao. Wings of wind and lightning. Zhao Feng's eyes dimmed, and a faint purple light flashed from the core of his source of true spirit. Faint purple chains formed the skeleton, and the azure wind lightning formed the wings, forming a pair of wings of wind and lightning that were even brighter than before. Pa! Pa! As the wings of wind and lightning flapped, the power of wind and lightning within a 10-mile radius was pulled towards him. In a short instant, Zhao Feng turned into a blurry afterimage, and his speed once again surpassed Yu Qianhao's. After merging with the purple wind and lightning, the wings of wind and lightning became even stronger, and it even strengthened Zhao Feng's ability to summon wind and lightning. Shua! The afterimages of the wind and lightning created a series of afterimages as they shuttled back and forth between the clouds. Zhao Feng's speed wasn't only fast, but it also contained the Tao of illusion. This originated from his mental energy illusion and had nothing to do with the wind-lightning tablet inheritance. Even someone as strong as Yu Qianhao, with the unparalleled heaven-battling bloodline, couldn't keep up with Zhao Feng's speed. Although the unparalleled heaven-battling bloodline was strong, it mainly increased offense, mental energy, and defense. In terms of speed, it didn't increase much. Unparalleled, Yu Qianhao once again executed that strike that seemed to swallow the sun and moon in the sky. The dazzling and mysterious enormous palm of light was coiled with strands of icy-cold crystalline brilliance, and it reflected the vast energy of the heavens and the earth, causing everything to shatter everywhere it passed. However, this time, his attack didn't hit Zhao Feng directly. With the support of the wings of wind and lightning, Zhao Feng's speed and agility increased dramatically. The power of his moves also increased. Furthermore, his god spiritual eye also had a strong prediction ability. Wind lightning eye flame. Purple destruction. Wind lightning destruction. Purple destruction. Claw of wind and lightning. Zhao Feng dodged and unleashed fierce attacks at the same time. Long-range eye bloodline techniques. AoE techniques. Close combat killing moves. Zhao Feng's attacks came one after another. Whoosh! Everyone could only see two figures shuttling through the clouds, locked in a fierce battle. Those from the Iron Blood religion were dazzled. Sometimes, they couldn't even see what was going on. However, one thing was certain. The battle had entered a stalemate. The battle between the two overwhelming prodigies had their own strengths and weaknesses. It was hard to tell who would win in a short amount of time. In terms of true battle power, Yu Qianhao has the obvious advantage, but Zhao Feng's control of the situation is too strong. This is the advantage his eye bloodline gives him. Furthermore, he has the advantage in terms of speed. Dao's sovereign by inside. That's right. Yu Qianhao has activated his unparalleled heaven-battling bloodline and should be unparalleled amongst those of the same cultivation. However, Zhao Feng is also an anomaly. He's forced Yu Qianhao to this point and still has the upper hand. Patriarch Hong's side. This battle had established the unparalleled status of the two overwhelming prodigies. It was destined that no genius would be able to match up to them in dozens of generations. In the clouds. Divine light of destruction. Zhao Feng's left eye shot out a dazzling azure light that pierced through the clouds and sliced through everything. Isn't this the Golden Sun family's eye bloodline technique? The two sovereigns were slightly dazed. The divine light of destruction was said to be able to analyze all techniques. This time, the divine light of destruction that Zhao Feng had used was the complete version. It split the physical and mental energy at the same time in order to deal with Yu Qianhao, who was almost unparalleled. Shua, the azure-colored rainbow struck Yu Qianhao, quickly cutting through his defenses. However, what disappointed Zhao Feng was that the cold shadow that had merged with Yu Qianhao wasn't affected. It only weakened the physical and mental energy attacks. The cold shadow was a form of bloodline power, and its form couldn't be estimated. This was similar to Zhao Feng's Eye of Heaven. Unparalleled secret technique, chaotic dance of spring and autumn. The activation of Yu Tianhao's bloodline became stronger and stronger. Every punch and palm contained unparalleled mental energy and battle intent that attacked Zhao Feng's mind and level. If it wasn't for the fact that Zhao Feng had the god's spiritual eye and his soul was as strong as a sovereign's, even if he wasn't injured, his battle intent would be worn out and he would lose. Yu Qianhao's battle power is becoming stronger and stronger. Is there no limit to his bloodline activation? Zhao Feng's expression became solemn. Logically speaking, there should be a limit to the improvement of any bloodline secret skill, and there might even be a price to pay. However, Yu Qianhao became stronger the more he fought. His bloodline was born for battle. Looks like I need to use the Earth-grade divine weapon Shadow in order to win against Yu Tianhao. Zhao Feng's eyes twinkled. When he thought to this point, his left eye turned dark blue, and the ripples on his body turned into a cold light of an ice wolf. Ice Imperial Spear appear. Zhao Feng took a deep breath and circulated his bloodline power. A half-transparent, ice-blue spear shadow appeared in his palm. The shape of the spear was clearer than last time. Woo! An indescribably terrifying chill seeped into the area and froze it. The surrounding heaven-earth yuan qi and all living things instantly froze. Peng! Yu Qianhao's attack was instantly frozen when it got close. It was like a burning flame that dimmed and extinguished. Chapter 530. The moment the figure of the Earth-grade weapon appeared, the tide of the battle turned. See, crack! The illusory, icy blue light spear glowed with a dazzling crystalline light. With a single sweep, everything in the world froze, turning from hard to brittle. Soon after layer fell off, transforming into countless ice shards and powder. Figure of an Earth-grade weapon. Zhao Feng has a piece of an Earth-grade weapon. The two martial sovereigns were shocked. There didn't seem to be a complete Earth-grade weapon in the Azure Flower continent. A portion of the sovereigns had pieces of Earth-grade weapons, and a small number of them had complete parts. At this point in time, a piece of an Earth-grade weapon had appeared in the hands of the overwhelming prodigy. This was obviously shocking. As for a complete Earth-grade weapon, the two sovereigns couldn't imagine it. Break! Zhao Feng circulated his bloodline power and used a portion of the Ice Imperial Spear's aura to create the effect of a broken Earth-grade weapon. Yu Tianhao's expression changed dramatically. No matter how strong his skill was, it was instantly shattered by Zhao Feng's coldness. Peng! His bloodline froze as he was pushed back dozens of yards by the powerful aura of the Earth-grade weapon. Zhao Feng didn't immediately chase after him because the power of an Earth-grade weapon was too terrifying. If he didn't control it, it could easily kill normal half-step Origin Core realms. Thinking back in the 100 Graves Forbidden Ground, Zhao Feng had used the figure of the Earth-grade weapon to beat the Skeletal Division leader to the point where it couldn't fight back at all. Now that Zhao Feng had become stronger in every aspect, the power of his Earth-grade weapon was even stronger than before. Oomph! A piece of an Earth-grade weapon? Yu Qianhao's battle intent didn't fade as he snickered coldly and grabbed at the air. Shua! A 3-inch-long broken sword hilt appeared in his hand, condensing into a resounding broken sword shadow. In a split second, a king's might of the sword Dao deterred everyone present. Sword hilt? A piece of an Earth-grade weapon? Zhao Feng paused. The ice imperial spear that he had obtained could be considered complete. It was slightly different from these fragments. Of course, Zhao Feng couldn't use the entire ice imperial spear. He could only use a portion of it, which was equivalent to using an earth-grade divine armament fragment. This broken sword hilt was probably the weapon of a void god realm king when it was complete. That terrifying aura made the hearts of the two supremacies tremble. Unparalleled in the world, Yu Qianhao and the overlapping cold shadow moved at the same time. The broken sword hilt sent out an earth-grade sword shadow, which shone with a brilliant light and attacked Zhao Feng. Meanwhile, Zhao Feng activated a beautiful ice crystal blue spear image. Wind and lightning revolved around it, and purple streams darted about as it ruthlessly swept over. Ding! Hiss! Two different types of earth-ranked divine weapons clashed against each other. A terrifying aura instantly froze this entire space. Sparks flew, and a small hole appeared in Zhao Feng's ice-blue spear shadow. But in the next instant, the terrifying cold power instantly froze Yu Qianhao's broken sword light. Wu! The auras of the two earth-grade divine weapons intertwined with each other and created ripples of forbidden power. Blood leaked out of the mouths of both Zhao Feng and Yu Qianhao. The difference was the injuries on Zhao Feng's body started to heal bit by bit under the nourishment of his bloodline power. After all, this was an injury caused by the aura of an earth-grade divine weapon, and there would be an invisible resistance that stopped the recovery. Yu Qianhao's situation was slightly worse. The recovery speed of the injuries on his body was half as slow. This was under the effect of his unparalleled heaven battling bloodline, which gave him shocking defense and extraordinary recovery speed. Not good. If this continues, our lives will be in danger. The expressions of the two sovereigns changed dramatically. This was because the power that the two overwhelming prodigies controlled had exceeded their limits, and they could even threaten sovereigns. Stop! A clear voice sounded from the clouds in the distance, and the heaven-earth yuan qi surged like a flood, forming an invisible pressure that suppressed everything within dozens of miles. When the voice sounded, Dao, Sovereign Baiyun, and Patriarch Hong's hearts shook, and they felt an unknown pressure. Whoosh! A handsome man descended between Zhao Feng and Yu Qianhao amidst the raging yuan qi tide. Sovereign Yu Xingqian, Patriarch Hong blurted out as he recognized the newcomer. Open! Yu Xingqian slowly waved his hand, and a beautiful, translucent palm appeared. It gradually grew larger, and from top to bottom, it forcefully wrapped around the power of the two earth-grade divine weapon phantoms. Bam bam! The two prodigy kings were knocked half a mile away by a combination of hard and soft power. Zhao Feng's blood churned, and he almost spat out a mouthful of blood. When he looked closely, the forbidden power created by the collision of the two earth-grade divine weapon shadows was temporarily trapped by Yu Xingqian and was slowly being worn down. A few breaths later, poof! The forbidden power created by the collision was completely destroyed by Yu Xingqian. Yu Xingqian let out a sigh of relief before glaring fiercely at Yu Qianhao. You really are audacious. Do you think you can bear the consequences of using the unparalleled heaven battling bloodline without restraint? Yu Qianhao was silent. However, his mental energy and battle intent started to fade, and he was like a dead tree. Obviously, the unparalleled heaven battling bloodline had side effects after using it. Once this bloodline was used too much, there seemed to be even more terrifying consequences. How can a true Lord rank use a broken Earth-grade weapon? If I didn't arrive in time, your lives would have been in danger. Yu Xingqian calmed his aura and scanned over Zhao Feng. Zhao Feng didn't deny it, but fear was still on his face. If it was just the power of a broken Earth-grade weapon, he could barely control it. However, if the auras of two Earth-grade divine weapons clashed with each other, the resulting backlash will be something that even venerables would choose to avoid. Yu Xingqian, luckily you arrived in time. Patriarch Hong let out a long breath. Although the two sovereigns could stop Zhao Feng and Yu Qianhao's Earth-grade weapons, they couldn't guarantee that the two overwhelming prodigies wouldn't be injured. However, Sovereign Yu Xingqian had this ability. He forcefully controlled the power of the Earth-grade weapons and destroyed it, so that Zhao Feng and Yu Tianhao wouldn't be injured. Yu Xingqian's expression softened as he greeted the two sovereigns. However, he didn't stay for long. Tianhao, there's not much time left. Let's go. This chance only comes once every 20 years. Yu Xingqian's expression tightened as he placed his hand on his son's shoulder. Okay. Yu Tianhao nodded his head. His expression was slightly weak and his blood was weak. Before they left, he glanced at Zhao Feng and said in a low tone, I didn't expect to meet such a strong opponent before leaving the Azure Flower Continent. Zhao Feng was surprised. It wasn't hard to guess that Yu Tianhao was determined to win this battle. Before the battle, Yu Tianhao never thought that he wouldn't win. In the entire continent, you are also my only opponent. Zhao Feng nodded his head faintly. Yu Tianhao's strength had also exceeded Zhao Feng's expectations. Before using the Earth-grade weapon, he could only fight Yu Tianhao to a standstill. Even if he used the aura of the Earth-grade weapon, he wouldn't be able to win. However, after this battle, we'll fight again. Maybe in 5 years, 10 years, or even longer. Yu Tianhao's aura was extremely dim. 5 years, 10 years, or even longer. Zhao Feng paused. Yu Tianhao seemed to want to leave the Azure Flower Continent, and the place he wanted to go was extremely far. Why don't we make a deal? Let's fight again in 10 years. Yu Tianhao was so tired that he couldn't even open his eyes. The side effects of overusing the unparalleled heaven battling bloodline were battering at his mind and consciousness. Okay, 10 years. Zhao Feng nodded his head. He also understood that after reaching the true Lord rank, the increase in strength would become slower and slower. Every bottleneck would take dozens of years. For the future, 10 years wasn't that long. Let's go. Yu Xingqian interrupted their conversation. Dragging Yu Tianhao, he turned into a beautiful shadow and disappeared into the clouds in a few breaths of time. A while later, Yu Xingqian dragged Yu Tianhao and flew several hundred miles away. Father, if you didn't stop me, would I have been the final winner? Yu Tianhao's eyelids twitched. In theory, the unparalleled heaven battling bloodline can be used indefinitely and increase one's battle power through battle. If you keep fighting, your chances of winning will be higher. Sovereign Yu Xingqian didn't deny it. If Zhao Feng was here and heard this, he would be stunned. There was such a terrifying bloodline in the world that could be used indefinitely and increase one's battle power. Hearing this, a smile appeared on Yu Tianhao's face, as if he was happy that his father had acknowledged him. However, Yu Xingqian's tone changed. If you use the unparalleled heaven battling bloodline too much, it's very likely that you'll win or die. On the other hand, even if Zhao Feng loses, he can live. Father, Yu Tianhao's expression changed slightly. Therefore, the final winner is Zhao Feng. Yu Xingqian snorted coldly. Hearing this, Yu Tianhao didn't seem to accept it. However, his father's next words made him speechless. Throughout history, regardless of victory or defeat, the one who can live to the end and laugh is the true winner. Yu Tianhao fell into deep thought. The unparalleled heaven battling bloodline could, in theory, be used indefinitely before one's soul and life force was used up. This was heaven-defying. But the consequence was that one had to pay an equal price after the battle. Simply put, how much you overdraft you had to pay back after the battle. This was the principle of balance. Looking at Yu Tianhao and Zhao Feng's battle. If Yu Tianhao won in the end, the overdraft of his soul and body would very likely cause him to die. Because Zhao Feng's bloodline recovery was too strong and his speed was a level higher, it was almost impossible to defeat him in a short amount of time. If Yu Tianhao wanted to win, he had to pay the price of death. Tianhao, don't force it. Go to sleep as soon as possible. Leave the rest of the journey to me. A trace of affection appeared between Yu Xingqian's brows. He carried the gradually falling asleep Yu Tianhao on his back and tried to fly as steadily as possible. In reality, Yu Xingqian had been watching the battle from afar, watching the majority of the battle from afar. In the end, Zhao Feng and Yu Tianhao ended in a draw. For Yu Xingqian, this was the most ideal situation. because Yu Qianhao's path of growth had been too smooth. He needed a strong opponent to sharpen his mind and prevent his confidence from inflating. As a father, Yu Xingqian was very thoughtful. But what he didn't know was that this kind of tempering was also applied to Zhao Feng. Chapter 531. Above the clouds. Zhao Feng sent off Yu Xingqian and his father with a solemn expression. After returning from the inheritance, his strength had increased again and again. His cultivation, intent, soul power at bloodline, and other aspects had all increased. In the last year, he had even comprehended a few wisps of the purple destruction wind lightning. With this kind of battle power, he was invincible against anyone under the origin core realm. However, today's battle made the arrogance and pride in his heart disappear. There's always someone better. Who knows how many powerful bloodline geniuses there are in this world? I'm just standing at the peak of the azure flower continent. The light in Zhao Feng's eyes was unwavering. Only by continuously improving and opening up one's own potential could one surpass those miraculous legends. Zhao Feng, how are your injuries? Patriarch Hong and Tianma flew through the air. They were already thankful that there weren't any casualties in the battle just now between Zhao Feng and Yu Tianhao. I'm fine. Zhao Feng had a smile on his face as a warm blue water started to circulate around his body, cleansing his organs and moisturizing his body. From the end of the battle until now, his injuries had mostly recovered. Patriarch Hong and Tianma looked at each other and couldn't help but be surprised. In a true battle, Zhao Feng had the biggest advantage. At the very least, he would be able to survive longer. After this battle, Zhao Feng returned to normal and took up the position of Deputy Patriarch of the Iron Blood religion. However, compared to Tianma, this Deputy Patriarch position was much more relaxed and free. He didn't have many opportunities to manage the Iron Blood religion. Furthermore, in the current Canopy Great Country, the Iron Blood religion ruled over everything. Almost all the forces in the world submitted to them. At least on the surface, no force dared to challenge the Iron Blood religion. This way, most of Zhao Feng's time could be spent on comprehension and cultivation. He started to organize and perfect his eye bloodline. Right now, as he cultivated his eye bloodline's power was becoming more condensed and condensed. However, due to the limitations of his current level, Zhao Feng couldn't make much progress in his eye bloodline techniques. I basically learned all 3 eye bloodline techniques on the continent. Zhao Feng finally discovered a limitation. In the Azure Flower continent, it was difficult for him to learn new eye bloodline arts. Of course, his focus was still the inheritance of the Wind Thunder Tablet. His comprehension of the Purple Tempest Lightning had already reached 10%. 1/10 seemed like a small amount. In reality, the Purple Destruction, Wind Lightning secret technique that Zhao Feng used could already kill ordinary half-step primal core realms. Besides, Zhao Feng didn't slack off in his cultivation of the Ice Imperial Spear. The Ice Imperial Spear was an Earth-grade inheritance divine weapon. The more Zhao Feng comprehended it, the stronger the Earth-grade inheritance divine weapon's aura would be. But the moment, Zhao Feng didn't dare to use the Ice Imperial Spear. In theory, his soul power was comparable to a sovereign's, and his mental energy wasn't weaker than normal half-step sovereigns either. It wasn't impossible for him to use the Ice Imperial Spear. However, it was a relatively complete Earth-rank divine weapon, and an inherited one at that. If it was exposed easily, it would be too shocking. Therefore, Zhao Feng didn't dare to try it right now. In the blink of an eye, half a year passed. In this half a year, Zhao Feng had consolidated and improved in many aspects, but due to the limitations of the Azure Flower continent, he didn't have any obvious breakthroughs. Master, we've used up most of the resources we've gathered in the past half a year. The skeletal division leader's voice sounded through the dark heart seed. How's the progress? Zhao Feng's consciousness entered the 10,000 Ghost Pearl. Inside the myriad Ghost Pearl, the dark, damp soil was shrouded in ghostly mist and yin qi. In one area, 5 true Lord rank ghost corpses stood in a row. Their auras were mostly at the early stage or late stage True Lord ranks. These 5 True Lord rank ghost corpses were mainly made from the cursed corpses from the 100 Graves Forbidden Ground, so their auras were different from normal ghost corpses. Zhao Feng's 2 dark silver ghost corpses were in another corner. Their auras were close to the late stage True Lord rank, but adding on the corpse poison from those below the origin core realm, they couldn't be measured by normal standards. This meant that Zhao Feng now had a total of 7 True Lord rank ghost corpses. If others knew about this, who knew how shocked they would be? One had to know. The 4 major families of the Canopy Great Country only had 5 or 6 True Lord ranks. The 100 Corpse plan is only 5% complete. Zhao Feng's eyebrows furrowed as if he wasn't satisfied. His 2 dark silver ghost corpses weren't part of the 100 Corpse plan. Master, it's not a problem of my refining speed anymore. It's just that resources are getting more and more scarce. The skeletal division leader smiled bitterly. Zhao Feng didn't doubt it. He already had the main material to refine True Lord rank ghost corpses. However, the other resources were also extremely rare in the Azure Flower continent. Even though he used the Iron Blood religion's power and attended some high-class auctions, he still didn't have enough resources. I'll find a way to get more resources in the future. All right, how's your strength? Zhao Feng's tone changed. Within the 10,000 Ghost Pearl, the skeletal division leader's aura wasn't much different from a true sovereign. I've recovered 60 to 70% of my battle power and can barely fight against normal sovereigns for a while. If I meet a powerful sovereign like you, Xingqian, I probably won't be able to last more than a few moves. The skeletal division leader replied. Hearing this, Zhao Feng was satisfied. The skeletal division leader's strength had surpassed the half-step origin core realm after recovering 60 to 70% of its battle power. If he didn't use his Earth-grade weapon, it would be hard for Zhao Feng to beat the skeletal division leader in a head-on battle. Time flew by, and another 2 to 3 months passed. At this moment, Zhao Feng's 100 Ghost Corpse plan had barely reached 6%, and he had a total of 6 True Lord rank Ghost Corpses. Unfortunately, I don't have enough resources. Otherwise, if I gathered more than 10 True Lord rank Ghost Corpses, I'd be able to recreate the Ghost Corpse Cursed Array. Once I gather 50, I'll be able to greatly restrict a sovereign's strength. If I gather 100, I might even be able to threaten a sovereign's life. The skeletal division leader said regretfully. 2 dark red flames flickered in his eye sockets. He was curious as to what other method Zhao Feng had to obtain the remaining resources. At least with the Azure Flower Continent's current situation, it would take at least 100 years for Zhao Feng to create 100 Ghost Corpse core. Zhao Feng kept his mouth shut about this secret, not revealing a single thing. On this day, Zhao Feng once again stood up and headed towards the purple, rising great country in the northern continent to attend a large auction. According to the information, there were some resources that Zhao Feng urgently needed in this auction. In the wilderness, in front of them was a vast and complicated mountain range. Chill. Zhao Feng turned into a bolt of lightning as he flew through the mountains with extreme speed. If it was a normal True Lord rank, it would be pretty good if they could fly several thousand miles. On the other hand, Zhao Feng's Heaven Earth Yuan Qi was almost 10 times stronger than normal True Lord ranks due to his strong intent and soul. At his level, even some half-step sovereigns could fly for a long time. It wasn't hard for them to travel several tens of thousands of miles. At a certain moment, a 1,000-yard-tall mountain appeared in his vision that pierced through the clouds and covered a radius of several hundred miles. This Pangyun Sky Peak is an important symbol for entering the purple, rising great country from the south and can see several thousand miles. Zhao Feng had a map in his mind. Such a huge mountain was even marked on the map of the continent. Suddenly, Zhao Feng's left eye twitched as he looked toward the top of the Pangyun Sky Peak. In reality, the middle of the heavenly cloud peak was already shrouded in clouds and mist. Who's there? Zhao Feng felt a cold energy penetrating his soul. Even with his cultivation and soul power, he still felt uneasy and uneasy. He was just about to use his god's spiritual eye. 3-eyed divine light, a beam of light as dazzling as the sun, carrying with it a flame that could incinerate all things, shot through the air like a blazing meteor toward Zhao Feng. "It's you, the three-eyed saint." Zhao Feng's left eye instantly shot out a cold beam of light that easily shattered the three-eyed divine light. A golden-haired youth appeared in the clouds. It was the three-eyed saint. Zhao Feng obviously didn't put a measly three-eyed saint in his eyes. However, his expression was solemn as his eyes pierced through the clouds. An icy power that could freeze the world seemed to surge out from nature, covering the sky and earth. In that instant, Zhao Feng seemed to have entered the extreme North Ice Zone. Mystic Ice Queen. Zhao Feng's heart went cold and his expression changed slightly. In his field of vision, a white-robed beauty wearing an ice crown and holding an ice-bone scepter descended from the sky, looking like an ice queen. The Mystic Ice Queen seemed to be at the center of the heaven-earth Yuan Qi. The power of an origin core sovereign seemed to come from nature and spread across dozens of miles. Sizzle, water droplets in the air turned to ice, and frost started to form within 10 miles. Zhao Feng's blood showed signs of freezing, and this was under the premise that his bloodline could absorb the coldness. Sheng Tian, watch from the side and use your Sacred Eye bloodline to lock onto Zhao Feng. The Mystic Ice Queen's eyes were filled with killing intent, but she didn't hesitate and ordered the three-eyed saint. Before trying to kill Zhao Feng, the Mystic Ice Queen had thought about Zhao Feng's wings of wind and lightning. Maybe he had some way to escape. Mystic Ice Queen, you're indeed unwilling to give up and want to take revenge for the three-eyed saint. Zhao Feng's expression was solemn. This was the first time he had to face an origin core realm sovereign alone. Zhao Feng, if you're willing to hand over the unknown inheritance, I might let you live. The Mystic Ice Queen waved her hand, and the air of ice howled. A ring of cold wind that was 1 to 2 miles wide descended from the sky and trapped the area Zhao Feng was in. The power of the cold wind was enough to rip apart normal True Lord ranks within its range. Even if this move couldn't kill Zhao Feng, it would still restrict him. Let me live. Mystic Ice Queen, three-eyed saint, if you stop now, you still have chance. Zhao Feng laughed coldly. Shameless. The Mystic Ice Queen pointed out with her finger, and the 2-mile-wide circle of cold wind started to close in on Zhao Feng. Zhao Feng, you only have yourself to blame. On the other side, the three-eyed saint activated his Sacred Eye bloodline and locked onto the area Zhao Feng was in. He didn't want to kill Zhao Feng. He just wanted to restrict Zhao Feng's movements. Chapter 532. On one side was a sovereign descending from the sky, and on the other side was the three-eyed saint's all-out attack. In this situation, even if Zhao Feng used the wings of wind and lightning, he wouldn't be able to escape. However, Zhao Feng didn't seem to have any intentions of dodging. Who? A dark mist appeared in front of Zhao Feng. Wu, a human-shaped skeleton, suddenly appeared in the mist. Its bones were gold and silver, and 2 balls of red flames danced in its eye sockets. That's... The Mystic Ice Queen's heart shook when she saw the gold and silver skeleton's eye sockets. A corrosive mental energy aura swept over, and even the Mystic Ice Queen, who was at the origin core realm, felt uncomfortable. After all, the skeletal division leader was a sovereign that specialized in mental energy. If it was at its peak, it would be able to kill sovereigns of the same cultivation. At this point in time, Zhao Feng and the skeletal division leader each faced off against the ring of cold wind. Zhizha, an inheritance technique of the Mystic Ice Palace. The skeletal division leader laughed as a gold and silver bone whip appeared in its hand. With a flick of it, waves of purple and red flames appeared, making it seem like a dancing bone dragon. Boom! The ring of cold wind was instantly shattered by the skeletal division leader's gold and silver bone whip. However, the Mystic Ice Queen's ring of cold wind was a long-range attack that continuously sucked away the heaven-earth Yuan Qi. The ring of cold wind wouldn't be destroyed so easily. Purple destruction. Wind, lightning destruction. Facing an origin core realm sovereign, Zhao Feng didn't dare to hold back. A faint purple core appeared in his palm and was surrounded by azure wind and lightning. It released a beam of purple and azure light that contained a forbidden aura. Whoosh! The purple azure beam of light carried a ring-shaped tornado of wind and lightning, and it emitted a destructive aura that destroyed the icy cold wind that neared it. At this point in time, with the help of Zhao Feng and the Skeletal Division leader, they managed to block the Sovereign's attack. The Skeletal Division leader had recovered 60 to 70% of its battle power, so it didn't feel much pressure blocking only half of the attacks. It waved its golden silverbone whip and sent out flaming bone dragons. Even if some of it landed on the Skeletal Division leader, it wouldn't matter. The Skeletal Division leader's gold and silver bones were comparable to bone cultivators of the same cultivation. Even at this point in time, it could block 60 to 70% of the damage from normal sovereigns. In comparison, Zhao Feng urged the purple destruction wind lightning power Upanishad to the limit to resolve the other half of the attack. However, his body was being eroded by the cold power. Gurgle. Fortunately, he activated the power of his bloodline and switched between ice and water, which allowed him to absorb the cold energy and heal his injuries. Zhao Feng couldn't help but sigh. There was still a gap between him and the Skeletal Division leader. So, it's an injured supremacy. The Mystic Ice Queen snickered coldly in the air. She pressed her hand down, and an enormous mountain of ice appeared. It was 100 yards wide and gave off a cold aura. In the process of the ice-light mountain shadow pressing down, the void and the earth faintly shook, as if the power of a natural glacier collapse was not something that could be resisted by humans. Not good. The expressions of Zhao Feng and the Skeletal Division leader changed dramatically. The attacks of those at the origin core realm became the center of the heaven-earth yuan qi and merged with the power of nature. Zhao Feng's breathing stopped as he felt that the mountain seemed to contain the limitless power of nature. The area he was in seemed to be sealed off. Furthermore, the three-eyed saint was still harassing him. Bung! The 100-meter-wide ice-light mountain shadow was like a natural glacier collapsing. The terrifying energy and cold energy surged out, causing the two people below to sway. The Skeletal Division leader was barely able to block it, but Zhao Feng almost spat out a mouthful of blood. At the critical moment, Zhao Feng's god spiritual eye turned into a bone-chilling pond. Wang! Zhao Feng's blue hair blew in the wind as a tall figure appeared behind him. It had a crown on its head and a giant black sword in its hand. Below it was a throne of ice. Instantly, everything that got close to Zhao Feng was absorbed by the figure and the throne. However, even then, Zhao Feng could only dissolve the coldness coming from the mountain. The ice-light mountain contained the power of nature, and it could instantly turn a half-step origin core realm into ice shards. Right at this critical moment, three-eyed divine light, golden crow world incineration. In the distance, the three-eyed saint's third eye was like a blazing sun. Boom! A three-legged flaming bird in the shape of a golden crow turned into a blazing sun that shot toward Zhao Feng. The three-eyed saint's hatred for Zhao Feng could be said to be irreconcilable. All of his attacks were aimed at Zhao Feng. When lightning eye flame, Zhao Feng could only use one eye flame to block the three-eyed saint's attack. But this way, Zhao Feng had almost reached his limit in dealing with the ice fan. Most of the pressure was taken on by the Skeletal Division leader. At this moment, a rare flash of joy appeared in the Skeletal Division leader's eyes. If Zhao Feng dies here, the dark heart seed in the depths of my soul won't be a threat anymore. Of course, the Skeletal Division leader wouldn't go easy on him. Zhao Feng's god's spiritual eye's control of the situation was unparalleled. He was just hoping that the pressure from the Mystic Ice Queen would be even greater. The greater the danger, the greater the chance of escaping from Zhao Feng's control. Ice Imperial Spear appear. At this moment, a half-transparent ice-blue spear shadow appeared in Zhao Feng's palm. An indescribably terrifying chill seeped into the area and froze it. The surrounding heaven-earth yuan qi and all living things instantly froze. That ice-blue light spear was covered in beautiful ice crystals. When it pierced through the air, everything in the world shattered. That unstoppable huge ice mountain was peeled off layer by layer, turning into countless ice shards and powder. With the appearance of the Earth-grade weapon, Zhao Feng's battle power even surpassed the Skeletal Division leader. Break! Zhao Feng and the Skeletal Division leader increased their offense at the same time. Only then were they able to destroy the Mystic Ice Queen's attack. Skeletal Division leader, how confident are we in killing the Mystic Ice Queen? Zhao Feng's voice sounded through the Dark Heart Seed. What? Kill this sovereign in front of us? The Skeletal Division leader almost tripped, and its face twitched. Master, we'll have to pay a heavy price if we want to survive this sovereign's attack, and we might not even succeed. As for killing her, the chances are 0 unless I'm at my peak. The Skeletal Division leader's eyes were filled with bitterness. It didn't understand. With Zhao Feng's God-spiritual eye, how could he not see the situation? However, how could Zhao Feng not see the situation? Even if he teamed up with the Skeletal Division leader, they would have to pay a heavy price to defeat the Mystic Ice Queen and keep their lives. Even if they succeeded, the Skeletal Division leader would return to its original state. Oomph, you still dare to be distracted while fighting me? A mocking smile appeared on the Mystic Ice Queen's face as she raised her hand and summoned an ice wind whirlpool dragon that was even stronger than the previous 2 attacks. The Skeletal Division leader's heart tightened. The pressure it faced this time was even greater. As expected of a sovereign, this is even better. A faint laugh came from the blue-haired youth next to it. Laugh. He could still laugh. The Skeletal Division leader's face went green. If Zhao Feng died, it would most likely die facing the Mystic Ice Queen alone. The Skeletal Division leader found that something was wrong. Zhao Feng didn't use the Earth-grade weapon anymore. Shua, a carved dragon jade talisman appeared in his hand. That's... The Mystic Ice Queen's heart jumped as she felt uneasy. Jade Dragon Protection. Open. The carved dragon jade talisman in Zhao Feng's hand suddenly released a bright light, and the image of an ancient true dragon appeared. Woo! The low roar of an ancient true dragon reverberated through the heavens and the earth. That huge, ancient true dragon phantom exuded a supreme power that surpassed the heavens and earth. What? That's... The Skeletal Division leader and the Mystic Ice Queen both felt an immeasurable pressure on their souls. Could this be the legendary Void God Protection? But a strong pressure came from the depths of the Skeletal Division leader's soul, and its body stiffened. The flames in its eye sockets almost stopped moving. At this moment, the heaven-earth yuan qi within several hundred miles seemed to be locked down by an invisible force, and a pressure that came from the soul made everything within 1,000 miles tremble. Die! Zhao Feng pointed the dragon jade talisman at the Mystic Ice Queen. Who? The giant ancient green dragon shadow broke through the air towards the Xian Ice Queen and brought with it the power of an ancient true dragon. Everywhere it passed, the heaven-earth yuan qi shook, and there was a feeling of the universe shaking. Crack! First, the icy wind vortex frost dragon shattered upon contact. The two weren't even on the same level. No, don't! The Black Ice Queen screamed, but under the ancient true dragon aura, her soul was sealed and she couldn't dodge at all. In reality, the Jade Dragon protection wasn't fast, but its trajectory was clear. However, the Mystic Ice Queen couldn't dodge it. When one's strength reached a certain level, logic would be broken. Arg! The Mystic Ice Queen screamed as her strong defense was instantly shattered like paper. Even sovereigns at the Origin Core realm were turned to dust under the power of the heaven-shaking divine art. Palace Master, the three-eyed saint's soul almost left his body in fear. His face went pale, and his body started to tremble. An Origin Core sovereign that stood at the peak of the continent was killed by Zhao Feng's carving dragon jade talisman. The power of this Jade Dragon protection is obviously stronger than the Void God protection Yi Yin Yu used. Zhao Feng suppressed the shock in his heart. At the same time, a crack appeared on the Dragon Jade talisman in his hand, and its light dimmed by half. Basically speaking, the Jade Dragon protection was also a type of Void God protection, but it was even more unique. The material it was made from contained a wisp of the bloodline of an ancient true dragon. On the side, the skeletal division leader's mouth gaped open as cold sweat started to form in its heart. It didn't expect Zhao Feng to be so strong and use a killing move to kill an Origin Core Realm sovereign. Right at this moment, Zhao Feng put away the Jade Talisman and glanced at the skeletal division leader. The skeletal division leader's heart shook as a coldness spread from its feet to its body. Chapter 533. Zhao Feng's warning me that even without the Dark Heart Seed, he still has other methods to kill me. The skeletal division leader's face was full of fear. Zhao Feng clearly had the Jade Dragon protection, but he didn't use it. Instead, he left it at the most critical moment. His intentions could be imagined. Before this, the skeletal division leader wanted to use this chance to escape. If it knew that Zhao Feng had such a terrifying card, it wouldn't have dared to betray him even without the threat of the Dark Heart Seed. The power of the Jade Dragon protection was too terrifying, and it could instantly kill sovereigns. Normal Void God Realm sovereigns were usually heavily injured and forced back sovereigns. Zhao Feng's gaze moved away from the skeletal division leader, and he was satisfied. He had already prepared to use the Jade Dragon protection against the Mystic Ice Queen's pursuit. However, using it so easily wouldn't be able to unleash its full effect. Zhao Feng decided to use it at the last moment because he could gain experience fighting with sovereigns and it wouldn't affect his killing speed. Most importantly, it could also scare the skeletal division leader. As time passed, the skeletal division leader would recover its peak strength sooner or later. At that time, it would have the battle power of a true sovereign. Before the skeletal division leader could fully recover its strength, Zhao Feng would leave a shadow in its heart. At the same time, run! The three-eyed saint was scared out of his wits and started to run. Master, let me do it. The skeletal division leader volunteered to show its loyalty. Zhao Feng nodded his head with interest. Shua, the skeletal division leader had disappeared, leaving behind a blurry afterimage. In the next instant, a gold and silver line pierced through the clouds and quickly closed the distance between it and the three-eyed saint. After all, the skeletal division leader had 60 to 70% of its full battle power, and its speed surpassed normal half-step Origin Core realms. If Zhao Feng didn't use the wings of wind and lightning, he might not be able to beat the skeletal division leader. Dark Soul Death Claw. The skeletal division leader's expression was grim as it waved its hand, and a red claw the size of a small palace appeared that screeched through the soul dimension. Oh no, it's a soul Dao attack. An aura of death enveloped the three-eyed saint's soul. Normal mental attacks could only target one's consciousness. However, soul Dao attacks were more profound than normal mental attacks, and their techniques were more profound. Pucci. Even though the three-eyed saint's divine light of destruction only managed to create a hole in the claw, half of its power still passed through his body. Ah! The three-eyed saint screamed in pain. His face turned pale and purple. The Nether Soul Death Claw directly injured his soul and took away a lot of his essence energy. The three-eyed saint's soul was injured, and his life force was destroyed. The following battles were not on the same level at all. The three-eyed saint was killed by the skeletal division leader in just 2 moves. The skeletal division leader respectfully helped Zhao Feng organize the spoils of war. Unfortunately, the Jade Dragon protection was too strong and turned the Mystic Ice Queen's items into dust. Zhao Feng looked through the three-eyed saint's interspatial ring. Zhao Feng's gaze suddenly landed on a tattered leather book. There were a few ancient words written on it. Zhao Feng's knowledge wasn't the same as before, and a light flashed through his eyes. Stealing. Technique? So, this tattered little book recorded the theory of a type of forbidden technique. Unfortunately, it's only a theory and incomplete. Zhao Feng felt slightly regretful. The theory wasn't the same as the actual technique. It was just an abstract concept that hadn't been tested. Furthermore, the theory of the eye-stealing technique was incomplete. I've heard of the eye-stealing technique. Apparently, it steals another person's eye bloodline and transplants it into another person. It's the same as having an eye bloodline. The skeletal division leader explained. Hearing this, Zhao Feng couldn't help but widen his eyes. There is actually such a technique in the world. Of course, the eye-stealing technique has been lost in the world, and only some incomplete theories remain. Furthermore, even with the complete technique, the success rate is still very low due to many factors. The skeletal division leader sighed. Eye-stealing technique? Could it be that the two from the Golden Sun family chased me for? Zhao Feng couldn't help but think. If it was just because they were jealous of Zhao Feng's eye bloodline, the two wouldn't have taken such a huge risk. However, the possibility of stealing Zhao Feng's eye bloodline was different, even if the success rate was pitifully small. Shua. Zhao Feng opened his god's spiritual eye and copied the incomplete eye-stealing forbidden technique and comprehended it. What disappointed Zhao Feng was that it was only a theory and didn't mention the details of how to use it. Of course, the theory of the eye-blinding forbidden technique also increased Zhao Feng's knowledge base. Let's go. Zhao Feng told the skeletal division leader to return to the 10,000 Ghost Pearl and headed toward the Purple Rising Great Country. The Purple Rising Great Country was one of the 3 great countries of the northern continent and was even stronger than the Canopy Great Country. Half a month later, Zhao Feng returned to the Canopy Great Country after attending the auction and buying the materials he needed. After returning to the Iron Blood religion, Zhao Feng continued to gather materials. As long as there were enough materials in the 10,000 Ghost Pearl, the skeletal division leader would be able to refine the cursed ghost corpses. Now, the skeletal division leader's cultivation had recovered by more than half, and its efficiency had increased greatly. On top of that, it even helped Zhao Feng find the curse of 100 graves so that he could build the ghost corpse cursed array in the future. Zhao Feng left the forging to the skeletal division leader, and he spent most of his time comprehending and cultivating. In the blink of an eye, half a year passed. Over this half a year, Zhao Feng cultivated hard and occasionally went out to kill a few experts of the Scarlet Moon religion. However, over the past half a year, Zhao Feng found that his progress towards the late-stage True Lord rank was becoming slower and slower. This slow was relative to Zhao Feng's previous speed. Compared to normal geniuses, he was at least 10 times faster. After all, Zhao Feng's soul and intent far surpassed his cultivation. Therefore, Zhao Feng went to ask Patriarch Hong. The Azure Flower Continent is, after all, a small continent and is limited by the heaven-earth yuan qi and resources. The limit of cultivation is the origin core realm. Therefore, the closer one gets to the origin core realm, the slower one's cultivation is. Patriarch Hong answered. Zhao Feng finally knew the answer, and it was the same as his guesses. Of course, with your current speed, you should be able to break through to the late-stage True Lord rank in 2 or 3 years. Patriarch Hong smiled and said, "Is there any way to speed up my cultivation?" Zhao Feng asked. For example, the Three Saint Palace is on the Three Saint Mountain. It's a famous cultivation sacred ground in the Azure Island zone. The heaven-earth yuan qi there is 10 times purer than here. Patriarch Hong then suggested that Zhao Feng join the Three Saint Palace. Zhao Feng still rejected. In the following period of time, Zhao Feng's cultivation speed decreased. In the following period of time, the remaining members of the Scarlet Moon demonic religion and new forces appeared all over the continent like bamboo shoots after the rain. From the looks of it, the Azure Flower Continent would once again fall into chaos. Therefore, the Iron Blood religion held a meeting and gathered all the forces to destroy the demonic religion near the Canopy Great Country. Patriarch Hong, the demonic religion has more and more forces. The Great Country is in danger. There seem to be experts from other continents amongst them. The atmosphere within the hall of the Iron Blood religion was tense. Generally speaking, the factions represented by the Sacred Alliance and the 10 great sects still held a great advantage in the current situation of the continent. However, the demonic religion continued to counterattack, making everyone feel pressured. According to the news from the battlefield, the upper echelons of the Sacred Alliance and the Scarlet Moon demonic religion clashed several times. What was the result? Of course, the Sacred Alliance won, but this seems to be just a test. The upper echelons of the Iron Blood religion discussed. Zhao Feng sat on the deputy patriarch's seat leisurely. He was only responsible for clearing out the demonic religion in the Great Country and the Cloud area. He didn't care about the other areas. Little did he know, he still had a Scarlet Moon Division leader in his 10,000 Ghost Pearl. Several days later, Zhao Feng was cultivating in seclusion. Suddenly, a wisp of strange and obscure fluctuation came from the space itself. Purple Saint Token. Zhao Feng's heart jumped as he took out a purple token from his ancient metal ring. Wang, the Purple Saint Token emitted a faint purple halo. Zhao Feng sent a wisp of spiritual sense in. Brother Zhao Feng, there might be some trouble in the Purple Saint ruins, and I need your help. If there's nothing else, you can use the Purple Saint Token to return to the ruins within a year. Yu Fei. A message was caught by Zhao Feng. After reading this message, Zhao Feng's heart jumped. He was planning to either leave the Azure Flower Continent or return to the Purple Saint ruins if he couldn't break through in the next half a year. The message from the Purple Saint Token came at the right time. I can't easily reveal the situation of the Purple Saint ruins. Zhao Feng prepared to leave soon. Master, the 100 Corpse plan is 8% complete. We don't have enough resources. The Skeletal Division leader's voice sounded. Okay, focus on refining and consolidating your foundation. You'll have large amounts of resources soon. Zhao Feng replied. In the next few days, Zhao Feng started to prepare. Zhao Feng decided to keep his return to the Purple Saint ruins a secret and couldn't tell Patriarch Hong and company. Furthermore, Zhao Feng didn't want to drag the Iron Blood religion into the conflict between the Purple Saint ruins and the 3 2-star sections. Putting aside the Iron Blood religion, even the 10 great sects of the continent were not worth mentioning in front of the 3 2-star sects. Half a month later, everything was ready. Zhao Feng left behind a letter in his place of seclusion before leaving. The contents of the letter only mentioned that Zhao Feng had decided to go out, but the time wasn't certain. Half a day later, Canopy Great Country, Transverse Water Bay. Zhao Feng left a message with his spiritual sense to the Purple Saint ruins. I'm preparing to return. Half the time it takes for an incense stick to burn later. Wang, a twisted purple dot of light gradually expanded, forming a glowing purple door of light. When the door of purple light appeared, the nearby space trembled slightly and even seemed to overlap. Shua! Zhao Feng stepped into the door of purple light and disappeared. In the next instant, he was no longer in the Azure Flower Continent. Chapter 534. After the feeling of space distorting, Zhao Feng's body sank, and he appeared in a stinky swamp. That's right, this is the place. Zhao Feng had a deep impression of the Purple Saint ruins aura. After all, he had stayed here for several months. Even though this was a normal area, the Heaven-Earth Yuan Qi here was 10 times better than the Canopy Great Country. With Zhao Feng's mental energy level, he could summon the pure Heaven-Earth Yuan Qi nearby. Cultivating here was much easier than in the Azure Flower Continent. However, before Zhao Feng could even stabilize his feet, he felt a powerful aura from below that caused the ground to tremble. Wu, black tentacles as thick as buckets, reached out from the swamp and gave off green smoke. An invisible corrosive aura was enough to instantly kill normal beings. Shua, an arc of electricity, was left in its wake. The black tentacles lashed out with all their might, but they missed their target. In the next instant, Zhao Feng appeared in the air, a few dozen yards away. He squinted his eyes and looked down. In the stinking swamp, there was a giant black-colored swamp monster. It was half a mile in radius and could be considered a giant. Watch out! That's a black swamp water monster at the half-step origin core realm. A soft and worried voice sounded in Zhao Feng's mind. Black swamp water monster? Zhao Feng didn't panic and wasn't surprised by the voice. Wang, wisps of blue water appeared on the surface of Zhao Feng's body and acted as a filter. The aura of the black swamp water monster even made Zhao Feng feel slightly pressured. The green smoke and the corrosive aura it gave off weren't any weaker than Zhao Feng's dark silver poison corpses. Brother Zhao Feng, it's best if you leave the territory of the black swamp water monster as soon as possible. This water monster is huge and gives off a deadly poisonous gas that can instantly turn normal true lord ranks into a puddle of blood. Its battle power and life force are close to the towering tree Yao. Zhao Yufei's voice sounded a little urgent. In the Purple Saint ruins, there were many powerful beasts and groups of beasts. Back then, when Zhao Feng had entered, he had been very careful, as if he was treading on thin ice. He had used his god's spiritual eye to probe around bit by bit. Even for the current Zhao Feng, there were still some powerful existences in the Purple Saint ruins that posed a great threat to him. This was because the most powerful creature in the relic was comparable to a venerable one. Although the black swamp water monster's strength hadn't reached the sovereign level, it was a peak existence close to the towering tree Yao in the Purple Saint space. Puff, 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 puff. The enormous dark brown water monster in the swamp waved its tentacles and shot out dark green balls of light that looked like excrement. Some of them even exploded in the air. Bang! Bang! Every explosion would sweep a radius of 20 to 30 yards, and normal cultivators at the true spirit realm would die if they touched it. The black swamp water monster shot out hundreds of dark green balls of light at once. Their destructive power was terrifying. Damn, it's so unfriendly. Zhao Feng jumped up in fright, and lightning flashed around him as he left the area. However, there were still dozens of dark green balls of light that exploded near Zhao Feng, and the poisonous gas was enough to kill most true lord ranks. Bo! A blue ripple appeared around Zhao Feng's body and absorbed the power. In the sky, Zhao Feng temporarily left the area of the black swamp water monster, but he didn't immediately leave. Zhao Feng, you should leave. I advise you to leave. That black marsh water monster isn't completely unable to leave the ground. Furthermore, there are a few demon beasts nearby, and there's even a sleeping, venerable level demon beast. The Purple Saint Partial Spirit's beautiful figure appeared in Zhao Feng's mind. The Purple Saint Partial Spirit had already given the map to Zhao Feng. As long as he was careful, Zhao Feng would be able to survive in the space. Master, the materials of the black swamp water monster are extremely suitable for ghost corpses, and its liquid is extremely useful for creating corpse poisons. The skeletal division leader's voice sounded from the 10,000 Ghost Pearl. The Purple Saint Partial Spirit was surprised and realized that Zhao Feng had brought another expert into the 10,000 Ghost Pearl. That's what I was thinking. With Zhao Feng's God Spiritual Eye, how could he not see that the black swamp water monster was a treasure that could provide a large amount of resources for the 100 Corpse plan? Wind, lightning, crackling strike. Zhao Feng waved his hand in the air, and a blade of wind and lightning 10 to 20 yards long appeared with a faint purple destruction wind lightning around it. Shwa! Crackle! The huge blade of wind and lightning slashed through the air, creating dazzling sparks and exploding thunder, giving off a destructive and tyrannical aura. Before the slash even arrived, the black swamp water monster started to tremble uneasily and instinctively dive into the swamp. In order to increase the power of the wind lightning crackling slash, Zhao Feng had placed the purple destruction wind lightning at the edge of the blade to increase its destructive power. Shwa! Shwa! The blade of wind and lightning was so fast that the black swamp water monster couldn't react in time. It went straight into its head and even into its body. In an instant, the swamp below seemed to flip as the howls of the black swamp water monster sounded. Not only was Zhao Feng's slash powerful, it was also extremely accurate, and it dealt a fatal blow to the black swamp monster. If it was a normal peak true lord rank or even a half-step origin core realm, they would have died. However, the black swamp monster's body was huge and its life force was shocking. It was still struggling and could attack Zhao Feng at any moment. Master, it's best to make sure the corpse is intact. The value of this material, the skeletal division leader said expectantly. It didn't doubt that Zhao Feng had the strength to kill the black swamp water monster. Make sure the corpse is intact. Zhao Feng nodded his head faintly. Hearing this, the purple saint partial spirit and Zhao Yufei were both surprised. It had only been 2.5 years. How much had Zhao Feng improved? It seemed like he didn't even put the half-step origin core realm black swamp water monster at his eyes. I have ice soul. Zhao Feng's left, I shot out a beam of light that instantly pierced through the black swamp water monster's body. SII. The black swamp water monster's body froze as if its soul had been frozen, and its struggle became much weaker. A while later, the swamp within a mile or 2 radius was completely frozen. The black swamp water monster's body was covered in a layer of ice, and its consciousness was in a deep sleep. Its life force was almost undetectable. This state was like a vegetable that was in a deep sleep. It wasn't much different from death. Back in the Purple Saint ruins, Li Hong, who was at the late-stage True Lord rank, was finished off by Zhao Feng's Eye of Heaven. I guarantee it's complete and fresh. Zhao Feng smiled playfully and waved his hand, telling the skeletal division leader to dissect the corpse. The skeletal division leader's face twitched. Maybe only Zhao Feng had the ability to freeze the body and soul of a half-step origin core realm beast. On the other side, Zhao Yufei and the purple saint partial spirit were both surprised. This Zhao Feng's potential is shocking. The purple saint partial spirit couldn't help but sigh. Sitting next to her, Zhao Yufei's cultivation had also reached the late-stage True Lord rank and wasn't much stronger than Zhao Feng. One had to know, Zhao Yufei's bloodline talent was extremely close to the Heaven-Earth Yuan Qi, and she came from the 10,000 ancient races. Her cultivation speed was one of the best in the outside world. Furthermore, Zhao Yufei was in the Purple Saint ruins, and her cultivation environment was countless times better than the Azure Flower Continent. It took him almost half a day's time. Zhao Feng and the skeletal division leader finished dissecting the black swamp monster. In this period of time, some beasts came in and were easily taken care of by Zhao Feng and the skeletal division leader. Not bad. Not only did this Zhao Feng come in himself, he even brought a slave at the origin core realm. The purple saint partial spirit was overjoyed. It wasn't hard for her to see the relationship between Zhao Feng and the skeletal division leader with her special connection to the ruins. Brother Zhao Feng enslaved a sovereign. Zhao Yufei's mouth was wide open and she was dumbfounded. The main reason they told Zhao Feng to return to the Purple Saint ruins was to help him. After all, a large portion of Zhao Yufei's time was used to refine the crystal key, which was the core of the ruins. An hour later, Zhao Feng flew through the air and entered the mysterious canyon from back then. In this process, Zhao Feng killed all the beasts that got in his way like cucumbers. Even if some beasts want to take a shortcut, Zhao Feng would still go through them. The weird wind around the mysterious canyon didn't affect Zhao Feng much. In the depths of the canyon, Zhao Feng saw the towering tree owl. The towering tree owl's injuries had mostly healed, and new branches had grown out of its missing parts. Human, you're here again. The towering tree owl was overjoyed. Zhao Feng landed on a branch of the towering tree owl. At this point in time, he wouldn't even be afraid of fighting the towering tree owl head-on. A while later, a layer of dreamy purple mist surrounded the towering tree owl, and a purple palace descended from the sky. The purple palace was obviously the Purple Saint Treasure Palace. The Purple Saint Treasure Palace's existence was very unique. It was usually at the core of the ruins and couldn't stay outside for too long. Furthermore, every time the Purple Saint Treasure Palace descended, it would use up the Purple Saint Partial Spirit's energy. Shua. Zhao Feng entered the Purple Saint Treasured Palace with familiarity. On the 3rd floor of the Treasure Palace, Zhao Feng met Zhao Yufei and the Purple Saint Partial Spirit once again. Zhao Yufei sat in the lotus position and a crystal key floated in front of her. She waved her hand, and threads of flame, of true spirit, seeped into it to refine. The purple Saint Partial Spirit was a beautiful ball of purple light that floated in the air. The two girls smiled as they looked at Zhao Feng. Brother Zhao Feng. Zhao Yufei's eyes were filled with joy and longing. Her eyes were misty as she leapt into Zhao Feng's embrace. Zhao Feng paused slightly. Apart from Lu Qinxin, this was the first time he had hugged another girl so intimately. However, Zhao Yufei was like a girl next door, and he didn't reject it at all. On the contrary, he felt an indescribable urge. 2 years and 9 months. It's just that I haven't seen Brother Zhao Feng in a long time. Under the purple Saint Partial Spirit's gaze, Zhao Yufei's face went red, and she let go of Zhao Feng after a long time. 2 years and 9 months? Zhao Feng couldn't help but pause. He didn't think that time would pass so quickly. He was already 20 years old. Chapter 535. Third floor of the Purple Saint Treasure Palace. After reminiscing for a while, they finally got to the main topic. Senior Purple Saint, you sent a message for me to enter the Purple Saint ruins. What can I do for you? Zhao Feng's tone was polite and respectful. After all, when the Purple Saint Partial Spirit was alive, the Purple Knight's Sacred Lord was an existence that surpassed the Void God realm. Furthermore, the Purple Saint Partial Spirit had helped Zhao Feng a lot before she left. For example, the Jade Dragon Protection, the Ice Imperial Spear, the 10,000 Ghost Pearl, etc. were all given to him by the Purple Saint Partial Spirit. Zhao Feng, the Purple Saint Ruins hasn't faced any true danger yet, but there are some hidden threats. Outside the ruins, the 3 2-star sects have Void God Realm Kings guarding them, and have even invited array masters to exhaust the energy of the ruins. The Purple Saint Partial Spirit said, the situation of the Purple Saint Ruins was definitely complicated. Firstly, it was about the general situation of the ruins. The Purple Saint Ruins was an inheritance dimension that spanned over 8,000 miles. An independent dimension with a circumference of 8,000 miles was unimaginable for normal experts. One had to know. The normal areas of the Purple Saint Ruins had 10 times the spiritual energy of the Azure Flower Continent, and some special areas had 100 times the spiritual energy of the Azure Flower Continent. In the space, there were a few regions that maintained their original appearance from the ancient era. The precious materials and treasures that were nurtured could be said to be innumerable. Zhao Feng had felt this last time he entered the Purple Saint Ruins. Apart from that, there were many rare beasts in the dimension, and there were thousands of them that had reached the true spirit realm. There were even a small number of sleeping sovereigns. Among these demonic beasts, there were some ancient rare beasts that were extinct in the outside world. This was also an inestimable value. Yufei becoming the inheritor of the ruins is something none of the true dragon geniuses can imagine. Zhao Feng sighed in his heart. Among the geniuses who had entered the inheritance outside the territory, the one with the greatest fortune wasn't the 5 overwhelming prodigies, but Zhao Yufei. The Purple Saint Ruins you see now is the result of 10,000 years of decline, and its size has shrunk greatly. 10,000 years ago, it was far stronger than it is now. The Purple Saint Partial Spirit sighed. Zhao Feng's heart shook. The current Purple Saint space was at its weakest. It was hard to imagine what the Purple Saint Ruins was like at its peak. May I ask, Senior Violet Saint, what hidden threats are there in the ruins? How can I help? Zhao Feng asked. Due to the passage of time and external factors, my own power has been continuously drained away. Zhao Feng's figure appeared next to the towering tree, Yao, once more. The ruin's treasured palace was no longer there. Is this a free lunch? Is there anything in this world that doesn't require a price? Zhao Feng was calm. On the surface, it seemed like the Purple Saint Partial Spirit choosing him was a free lunch. However, the danger behind this wasn't small. Once the 3 2-star sects sent their experts into the ruins, Zhao Feng would definitely be the vanguard. According to what the Purple Saint Partial Spirit said, there are close to 100 flaws in the ruins. Among them, There are 2 or 3 major loopholes that involve vital points. A map of the weak points of the ruins soon appeared in Zhao Feng's mind. Most of the flaws on the map had flaws that could be hidden, close to 100 areas. Thinking up to here, Zhao Feng felt his head hurt. The repair and consolidation of those flaws involved some extremely profound mysteries and even the principles of designing spatial formations. Luckily, the Purple Saint Partial Spirit had already provided a way to fix them, so Zhao Feng didn't need to worry about it. Currently, Zhao Feng's focus was on the 3 flaws. These 3 flaws were extremely dangerous and could be used by the 3 sections, one of them. It came from this mysterious canyon, and the towering tree Yao was right in the middle of the mysterious canyon. Human, are we going to work together again? The towering tree Yao laughed. Zhao Feng's lips twitched as he started to fix the flaws. Ordinary loopholes referred to the fact that the space in a certain area was relatively weak. The Yuan Qi framework had cracks, causing the flow of heaven and earth Yuan Qi to be blocked, or even cut off the supply of heaven and earth Yuan Qi. If it wasn't fixed in time, the flaws would continue to expand and affect the entire dimension. Simply put, it was like the human body had a hidden disease that needed to be fixed. The Purple Knight's Sacred Lord's repair method was to mine primal crystal stones and use external Yuan Qi. The method of operation included setting up an elemental gathering formation and a restoration-type formation to repair, replenish, and unblock it. There were even some special areas that required Zhao Feng to personally guide the flow of Yuan Qi. On the first day of the repair, Zhao Feng was extremely tired. Before setting up the array, he needed to mine primal crystal stones or some special materials. And this was only the simplest step. Come out. Zhao Feng waved his hand and summoned the skeletal division leader, 2 dark silver ghost corpses, and 7 cursed ghost corpses. Master, what are you? The skeletal division leader asked curiously. From today onwards, you need to help me fix the flaws in the ruins, mine resources, and construct arrays. Zhao Feng ordered. Zhao Feng decided to use these powerful ghost corpses as manual labor. However, the ghost corpses could only do some simple tasks and couldn't do anything that was more detailed. Zhao Feng, you want me, the Scarlet Moon Demonic Religion Division leader, to be your slave? Don't you need my help with the 100 Corpse plan? The Skeletal Division leader complained. Your focus is on refining the cursed ghost corpses, but there are some things that require your command. Zhao Feng said. The Skeletal Division leader was experienced and knew a bit about arrays. With its strength at the Origin Core realm, it wouldn't be any weaker than Zhao Feng. Don't be lazy. Zhao Feng reached out and pulled out a sleeping silver-gray cat. Meow meow. The little thieving cat waved its paws in protest. It was even more unwilling to be a laborer. Wrong. You're the supervisor. Zhao Feng picked up the little thieving cat and flew around the Purple Saint ruins. Half a day later, Zhao Feng and the little thieving cat flew back with a cloud of dust behind them. The Skeletal Division leader looked over and jumped up in fright. An army of beasts followed behind Zhao Feng. There were dozens of figures of different sizes, and they were all at the true spirit realm. There were apes, pangolins, and mammoths among the demonic beasts. The smaller ones were the size of humans, and the bigger ones were the size of small mountains. These beasts were all controlled by Zhao Feng. Soon, more than a dozen ape-like demon beasts picked up their pickaxes and started mining. The pangolins were responsible for digging the tunnels. The giant elephants were responsible for splitting the mountains. The strongest beast was a golden elephant that was 40 to 50 yards long. Its cultivation had reached the peak True Lord rank, and even those at the half-step Origin Core realm would find it hard to break through its defense. Boom! Under Zhao Feng's control, the golden elephant smashed into a rock. You're a beast tamer? The Skeletal Division leader paused. Only a beast tamer would have such methods to easily tame a large number of demonic beasts and command so many spirit pets at the same time to complete all kinds of tasks. This Zhao Feng is pretty smart. He's managed to tame so many beasts to work for him. The Purple Saint Partial Spirit on the 3rd floor was surprised. Chapter 536. 2 days later, Zhao Feng wasn't involved in fixing the holes in the ruins. The skeletal division leader acted as the commander and fixed the holes, setting up the arrays, etc. The little thieving cat was the best supervisor and was responsible for communicating with the beasts. At the lowest level were the demonic beasts who worked as laborers. From top to bottom, there were commanders, supervisors, coolies, and everything that one could think of, forming a complete system. 10 days later, the number of beasts increased to over 100, and most of them had high intelligence. Under the command of the skeletal division leader, the beasts started to build the ruins. Everything was done in an orderly fashion. All it needed to do was to give orders, and everything would go smoothly. After all, the skeletal division leader was a figurehead of the Scarlet Moon demonic religion. At its peak, it had many times more subordinates than it did now. Third floor of the treasure palace. The purple Saint Partial Spirit saw all of this and was very satisfied. The slave that Zhao Feng had brought in was very useful. However, Zhao Feng didn't forget to squeeze out more value from the skeletal division leader. The skeletal division leader still needed to refine cursed ghost corpses. Luckily, it didn't need to worry about the materials and could just send the beast to mine them. The purple Saint Partial Spirit would answer any questions the skeletal division leader had about the ruins. Later on, the purple Saint Partial Spirit would ask the skeletal division leader for instructions on how to fix the holes in the ruins. As for Zhao Feng, the only thing he needed to do was to provide the beasts with hard labor. Half a month later, the number of beasts slowly increased to 200 to 300, and they were all at the true spirit realm. And this was when Zhao Feng wasn't even using his full strength. This was because the ruins itself was filled with danger, and the beasts would die as time went on. Zhao Feng just needed to replenish them every once in a while. Finally, on a certain day, Zhao Feng went into seclusion after increasing the number of beasts to 500. The Purple Saint Ruins had a good Yuan Qi environment, and Zhao Feng's soul and intent were both strong. His cultivation speed was several times faster than in the Azure Flower Continent. It only took 2 months. Zhao Feng's cultivation broke through to the late-stage True Lord rank. The effect of cultivating in the Purple Saint Ruins is truly extraordinary. If I was in the Azure Flower Continent, I would probably need more than a year to break through this bottleneck. Zhao Feng was pleasantly surprised. The Purple Saint Partial Spirit obviously saw Zhao Feng's breakthrough. This Zhao Feng's soul and mental energy level far surpass his cultivation. This is why his cultivation soared after returning to the Purple Saint Ruins. The Purple Saint Partial Spirit side. On the other hand, Zhao Yufei did not overtake Zhao Feng for long before she was caught up again. Yufei's situation is the exact opposite of his. The breakthrough in cultivation is limited by the spiritual realm. The Purple Saint Partial Spirit shook her head. Zhao Yufei's compatibility with Heaven-Earth Essence Qi was extremely high. She had a top-notch cultivation physique. If she had Zhao Feng's mental state, she would be at least at the half-step primal core realm. It was a pity. There was no perfect bloodline in this world. Zhao Feng was the same. His comprehension and mental energy surpassed others. But his compatibility with Heaven-Earth Essence Qi wasn't any better than others. If he and Yufei can become husband and wife and use the secret art of dual cultivation to advance their cultivation, a thought appeared in the Purple Saint Partial Spirit's heart. However, thinking about the relationship between Zhao Feng and Zhao Yufei, she let out a long sigh. After breaking through to the late-stage True Lord rank, Zhao Feng didn't need to consolidate his foundation and exited seclusion. At this point in time, half of the 500 beasts were gone. There were only 200 left. Zhao Feng started to replenish the beasts. Late-stage True Lord rank? He went from the early-stage True Lord rank to the late-stage True Lord rank in less than 2 years. The skeletal division leader's heart was heavy. If it was a normal late-stage True Lord rank, the skeletal division leader would look down on it like an ant. However, it knew that Zhao Feng's True Lord rank exceeded his foundational cultivation by an unknown amount. Every time Zhao Feng's cultivation increased, the skeletal division leader's chances of escaping his control would become smaller. And now, after Zhao Feng broke through to the late-stage True Lord rank, his source of true spirit was purer and stronger than before. A few days later, the beasts were replenished. Zhao Feng once again became the caretaker of the ruins and made sure that the skeletal division leader wasn't playing any tricks. Master, we've completed 12% of the 100 Ghost Corpse plan after entering the Purple Saint ruins. The skeletal division leader reported. 12% was equivalent to creating 12 cursed ghost corpses. Not bad. Zhao Feng nodded his head in satisfaction. Everything had sped up after entering the Purple Saint ruins. Furthermore, Senior Purple Saint has provided us with the corresponding refinement and construction of the 100 Corpses curse. The skeletal division leader explained. Soon, the Purple Saint ruins sent a stream of information into Zhao Feng's mind. Zhao Feng copied it through his god's spiritual eye. Ghost Corpse Cursed Array? Through the refinement of certain ghost corpses, it can create an invisible curse. Zhao Feng started to comprehend. This was because the main material for the 100 Corpse Core came from the True Lord rank corpses of the 100 Graves Forbidden Ground and contained the power of the curse. This meant that it wasn't hard to create a Ghost Corpse Cursed Array. The more ghost corpses there are, the stronger the Ghost Corpse Cursed Array is. If there were 100 True Lord rank ghost corpses, even sovereigns wouldn't be able to return. Excitement appeared in Zhao Feng's eyes. At the moment, he had a great Origin Core Realm battle power by his side, and the skeletal division leader's recovery speed had increased after entering the Purple Saint ruins. If he completed the 100 Ghost Corpse plan and created the Ghost Corpse Cursed Array, it would be able to threaten even sovereigns. In the blink of an eye, another 2 months passed. In this period of time, Zhao Feng used some of his energy to create an array with the cursed ghost corpses. Shua, shua. A total of 15 cursed ghost corpses were arranged in a specific formation. Within a radius of 300 meters, a thick gray cloud of smoke was formed. The powerful corpse energy of the evil ghosts sealed off the entire area. Wind lightning slash. Zhao Feng casually slashed out an azure blade of wind and lightning, which started to sizzle as its power was quickly absorbed. Shua! A crack appeared in the gray cloud of smoke, and Zhao Feng's attack was swallowed by the black smoke. Then, the gray smoke billowed and rose, and the cracks that had been broken were quickly repaired. Although I didn't use the purple destruction wind lightning, it's enough to instantly kill early-stage True Lord ranks and severely injure late-stage True Lord ranks. Zhao Feng revealed a joyful expression. He then added a wisp of purple destruction wind lightning into it. Shua! This time, the gray smoke shook violently, showing signs of instability. However, it quickly recovered and stabilized. Congratulations, Master. The Ghost Corpse Cursed Array has formed. That slash just now was enough to threaten half-step Origin Core realms. The skeletal division leader watched from afar with a complex expression. Thinking back, even as the Scarlet Moon division leader, it didn't dare to have so many True Lord rank ghost corpses, let alone a Ghost Corpse Cursed Array. If this continued on, just 20 True Lord rank ghost corpses would be enough to kill anyone under the Origin Core realm. Shua! Zhao Feng waved the black flag in his hand and put the 15 ghost corpses into the 10,000 ghost pearl. After that, he then summoned his 2 dark silver ghost corpses. After entering the Purple Saint ruins, Zhao Feng started to refine and strengthen them. Now, the base battle power of these 2 dark silver ghost corpses was comparable to normal late-stage True Lord ranks. Adding on the terrifying corpse poison, their damage was immeasurable in the Ghost Corpse Cursed Array. Furthermore, the Ghost Corpse's power was increased in the Ghost Corpse Cursed Array. On this day, after cultivating for a while, Zhao Feng walked around the Purple Saint ruins and checked for flaws. Because there were too many holes in the ruins, even the Purple Saint Partial Spirit herself might not be able to notice some of them. After all, the Purple Saint Partial Spirit was in her weakest state and couldn't control space at all. Zhao Feng entered the mysterious canyon and scanned the array below with his god's spiritual eye. He found some unusual signs. Mysterious canyon. There was a large flaw in this area. Towards this, the skeletal division leader had already set up the array and used the purple Saint Partial Spirits method to open up the Heaven-Earth Yuan Qi. However, the repair of the flaw was a slow process. It was like a disease that couldn't be healed in a short amount of time. From the surface, this major loophole was being repaired in an orderly manner and was returning to normal. The repair work had already been completed halfway. Wait, although there's an Yuan Qi gathering array here, the Heaven-Earth Yuan Qi is too active and the aura of life is unbelievably strong. Zhao Feng's God Spiritual eye scanned the area. According to logic, before it was completely repaired, the Heaven-Earth Yuan Qi shouldn't be this active and the aura of life shouldn't be this strong. Zhao Feng, watch out. There's an external force eroding the whole. The purple Saint Partial Spirit's voice sounded in his mind. Hearing this, Zhao Feng's heart jumped. The next instant, he found that the Heaven-Earth Yuan Qi around the hole was twice as active and the aura of life was rising. When did this happen? Why didn't I feel it before? Zhao Feng's expression was solemn. Hearing this, the skeletal division leader also came over. There's indeed something wrong. This hole hasn't been repaired yet, so there shouldn't be such strong Yuan Qi and aura of life. Two dark red flames jumped in the skeletal division leader's eye sockets. The two didn't know how to explain this. That's because the external force didn't try to invade or destroy the hole. On the contrary, it is nourishing this area and then assimilating it. The purple Saint Partial Spirit's voice was solemn. No wonder. Zhao Feng understood. This situation was definitely the three sects trying to enter the purple Saint ruins through a certain method. However, the methods of the three sects were extremely smart. They didn't attack the hole because it would be easily detected. On the contrary, they used pure Heaven-Earth Yuan Qi and life force to nourish this area. This method of not attacking made Zhao Feng and company think that it was because of the array. After nourishing it for a while, the three sects used external force to assimilate this area. This was like boiling a frog in warm water. The purple Saint Partial Spirit and the skeletal division leader slowly got used to it. Chapter 537. Wisps of pure Heaven-Earth Yuan Qi and life energy slowly seeped into the mysterious canyon where the loophole was located. The Heaven-Earth Yuan Qi and life force were extremely pure and were being transferred over. At the beginning, this energy was nourishing, and the Purple Saint ruins didn't reject it. Instead, it was like dry soil that was absorbing water. 1/4 of the Purple Saint ruins has been absorbed. What benefits does this bring to the three sects? Zhao Feng's eyebrows furrowed. Logically speaking, the power that was transferred from the outside world was even beneficial in repairing and stabilizing the holes. Even the skeletal division leader didn't understand. If my guesses aren't wrong, the three sects want to take over this hole first. Then, they'll use it as a base to infiltrate and invade the ruins. The purple Saint Partial Spirit's voice was solemn. Three sects? Invade? The skeletal division leader paused and couldn't help but ask, what kind of existences are the three sects you're talking about? After being in the Purple Saint ruins for so long, the skeletal division leader had heard Zhao Feng and the Purple Saint Partial Spirit mention the three sections. However, it didn't know what the three sects were. The three sects are the three two-star sects of the Tianlu Island zone. The Pure Moon Spiritual Sect, Moon Demon Palace, and Black Cliff Palace. The Pure Moon Spiritual Sect is a 2.5-star sect. Zhao Feng explained. What? The three two-star sects? The skeletal division leader stumbled and stared at Zhao Feng in disbelief. This truth, for him, was like a thunderbolt striking his head. Two-star sects? What kind of powerful sects were they? With the skeletal division leader's experience, it obviously knew how terrifying two-star sects were. Tianlu Island Zone? Isn't that a zone next to the Azure Island Zone? And the Moon Demon Palace? The skeletal division leader's expression changed dramatically. When the Moon Demon Palace was mentioned, he took a deep breath and panicked. Zhao Feng's eyes scanned over it. The Moon Demon Palace should be the force behind your Scarlet Moon demonic religion. right? You know? The skeletal division leader's heart tightened. Haha, I already had a guess when I was in the Cloud District. Zhao Feng chuckled, not surprised at all. If I didn't guess wrong, the dark and chaotic Crimson Moon era was essentially an extension of the conflict between the two-star sects, the Moon Demon Palace and the Three Saints Palace. To put it simply, several hundred years ago, the Green Flower Continent was a battlefield where the Moon Demon Palace and the Three Saints Palace clashed. Zhao Feng, you're crazy. You dare to go against the three major sects? The skeletal division leader exclaimed. The Scarlet Moon Demon sect was strong, but it was just a chess piece of the Moon Demon Palace. From this, it could be seen what kind of colossal existence a two-star sect was. Furthermore, of the three great two-star sects, the strongest, the pure Moon spiritual sect, was at the 2.5-star level. Become enemies? Ha! I killed more than 1 or 2 geniuses from the three sects 2 or 3 years ago. As Zhao Feng laughed, there was a hint of heroism and even madness on his face. In this world, without hard work and risk, how could there be great opportunities and gains? Thinking back, when Zhao Feng first entered the Purple Saint Ruins as an outsider, he fought a life and death battle with the three sections. But in the end, Zhao Feng became the biggest winner and obtained great fortune. Although Zhao Yufei was the inheritor of the Purple Saint Ruins and had the biggest fortune, comparatively speaking, Zhao Feng's growth was only above Zhao Yufei's. And this time, Zhao Feng might have to face the three sects again. Senior Purple Saint, what should we do about the three sects? Zhao Feng calmed himself down. There's probably some trouble. Firstly, we can't forcefully attack this place or else it'll expand. The Purple Saint Partial Spirit said solemnly. Hearing this, the hearts of Zhao Feng and the skeletal division leader shook. Indeed, being the weakest point of the dimension, it couldn't be forcefully attacked. Secondly, the power that's seeping in is related to the laws of space. There's a Void God Realm King and even a spatial array master behind it. It'll be very hard for you to deal with it at your level. The Purple Saint Partial Spirit smiled bitterly. Hard to deal with? Zhao Feng's expression changed. Even Zhao Feng and the Scarlet Moon Division leader couldn't do anything about it. We can't attack, and it'll be very hard to deal with. This is indeed troublesome. The Skeletal Division leader wanted to retreat. However, the Purple Saint Partial Spirit thought deeply. Once this hole is completely fixed, the three sects won't be able to do anything no matter how strong they are. I understand. This means that the only time the three sects can do anything is before the hole is fixed. Zhao Feng's eyes lit up, because, as long as the hole was fixed, there would be no more flaws. Of course, the three sects wouldn't be able to do anything. That's right. Before the hole is fixed, we need to be prepared. The Purple Saint Partial Spirit said. Next, Zhao Feng and the Skeletal Division leader used all their resources to speed up the repair of the hole. In an instant, the Heaven-Earth Yuan Qi in the center of the mysterious canyon started to condense. With everyone's hard work, the hole was quickly fixed. 3 days later, it's already half fixed. The Purple Saint Partial Spirit's voice sounded. The more the hole was fixed, the harder it would be for the three sects to take over the Purple Saint Ruins. During this time, Zhao Feng went to the other two holes and used his God's spiritual eye. The result wasn't good. The other two holes also seemed to be nourished by an external power, but it's not as strong as this one. Zhao Feng's God's spiritual eye saw everything. These are just the major holes. He hadn't looked at the smaller holes yet. This was because a small flaw was equivalent to a small injury on the body, and the threat was not great. Zhao Feng, look over there. There seems to be a weird plant growing there. The Skeletal Division leader sent news over. Chill. Zhao Feng quickly returned to the mysterious canyon. Focusing on it, in the forest where the loophole was located, some dark green roots appeared. They were mixed among the trees and were very inconspicuous. These rhizomes didn't appear an hour ago, he said. Right now, they're only in the hole. The Skeletal Division leader analyzed. Zhao Feng scanned over it with his God spiritual eye and felt that something was wrong. The dark green rhizomes had a violent and bloodthirsty negative aura, which was very different from ordinary plants. Furthermore, this dark green rhizome grew too fast. At the same time, the amount of life power that was seeping in from the outside world suddenly increased by several times. In addition, the heaven and earth yuan qi from the outside world and the yuan qi gathering formation caused the heaven and earth yuan qi in this area to increase by several times. In the blink of an eye, the dark green roots within a radius of 4 to 5 kilometers around the loophole rapidly expanded, becoming thicker and longer, and their color became even deeper. At the very center, some of the rhizomes instantly grew to the height of a person, forming ink-black vines covered in ferocious and bloodthirsty barbs. Damn it, these vines are sucking away my life force essence. The towering tree demon roared loudly. Within 4 to 5 miles, the dark green roots started to grow rapidly under the nourishment of the pure life force and heaven-earth yuan qi. Zhao Feng and the skeletal division leader were dazed. It was too fast. In just a couple breaths' time, the dark green roots had turned into black vines that stabbed into the ground and started to grow in every direction. In the forest, the creatures that lived on or under the ground were sucked away by the dark green vines and turned into bones and white skin. Wind, lightning, tornado, Zhao Feng exclaimed, and a massive storm of lightning exploded from his palm, instantly enveloping a radius of 1 to 2 miles. Boom! The madly expanding ink-black vines were stopped, leaving behind patches of scorched marks. Electric currents were running all over the place. However, Zhao Feng could clearly feel that what elemental life forms countered lightning to a certain extent. In this heaven and earth, all elements countered each other. Although lightning was strong, it was countered by what elemental life force. Moreover, those ink-black vines grew endlessly under the effect of the surging vitality and the origin qi of the world. In just 1 or 2 breaths of time, the ink-black vines that had been destroyed quickly grew back with the spring breeze. Everything within 4 to 5 miles was filled with these black vines. Some of the faster-growing ones were already 7 or 8 yards long, and they showed no signs of stopping. My God, what kind of being is this? The skeletal division leader also joined the battle and destroyed the black vines. Wisps of purple destruction, wind, lightning appeared in Zhao Feng's palm and started to increase the intensity of his attacks. Damn it, this is a calamity-grade, forbidden creature, demonic hellvine. The purple Saint Partial Spirit exclaimed. Calamity-grade? Demonic hellvine? Hearing this name, Zhao Feng and the skeletal division leader couldn't help but hiccup. Just looking at the demonic hell vine devouring life force and its insane growth, it definitely lived up to its name of calamity grade. If such a being were to grow in the Azure Flower continent, it would probably bring about the destruction of the entire civilization. The 3 sects actually managed to get a seed of the demonic hell vine and dare to use it so easily. Aren't they afraid of burning themselves? This vine is almost immune to fire and water, and it can grow endlessly wherever there's life and heaven-earth yuan qi. The purple Saint Partial Spirit's voice trembled slightly. Boom! Boom! The combined attacks of Zhao Feng and the skeletal division leader could only slow down the growth of the demonic hell vine, but they couldn't truly stop it. Quick! Destroy the yuan gathering array first. The denser the heaven-earth yuan qi is, the faster the vine will grow. The purple Saint Partial Spirit said. Wind, lightning, crackling, slash. Zhao Feng slashed out with one hand, and several blades of wind and lightning surrounded the yuan gathering array. As expected, after the yuan gathering array was destroyed, the heaven-earth yuan qi gathered decreased, and the growth of the demonic hell vine slowed down. However, at this point in time, the growth of the demonic hell vine had become a disaster. Most of the vines were several yards tall, and a small number were dozens of yards tall. Looking at it with the naked eye, it was an ink-black sea of vines. Countless ink-black vines were covered in barbs, twisting about crazily. It was a daunting sight. Chapter 538. In the Limitless Ocean. A giant mountain that looked like an ancient beast stood in the limitless ocean and spanned several hundred miles. On the peak of the mountain, a group of people looked up. It was a mirrored lake with a circumference of 1,000 feet. It was beautiful and colorful, and a relatively clear image was displayed. At this moment in time, the scene in the image made their hair stand on end. What entered their eyes? Countless ink-black demonic vines that were dozens of feet long, twisted and twisted, covering the sky and earth, forming an ink-black sea of tendrils. With an unstoppable momentum, they continued to grow and spread throughout the scene. The crowd held their breaths, their hearts pounding. Terrifying. As long as there's life, energy, and heaven-earth yuan qi, the demonic hell vine can grow endlessly. It's indeed worthy of being a disaster-grade, forbidden vine. If it's not controlled, it can destroy an entire civilization. Some of the stronger figures couldn't help but sigh. These figures came from the 3 2-star sects, and the weakest was at the true lord rank. There are also many sovereigns. Of course, many figures were in awe as they looked up at the 3 majestic existences in the sky. Within a radius of several thousand miles, 3 indescribable mighty forces could be sensed. Looking at them with the naked eye, they looked like 3 balls of divine light. The golden skeleton radiating an aura of death, the moon-robed female, and the demonic king shrouded in black mist. 3 void god realm kings. They were like 3 statues that had existed since ancient times and hadn't changed at all. For void god realm kings with long lifespans, 3 years was just an instant to close their eyes and comprehend. Saint Moon Ant Goddess, in order to stop that brat, you actually used this forbidden demonic vine seed you obtained from the sacred land of spirit. The golden skeleton was slightly surprised. The 3 void god realm kings looked at the center of the mysterious canyon and the scene of the demonic vines. Among them, the scene of Zhao Feng and the skeletal division leader fighting the vines could be seen. The 3 void god realm kings weren't surprised at all by Zhao Feng's existence. This brat has been disrupting our plans ever since he returned to the Purple Saint Ruins. He's a threat that we can't control. Not to mention, this Zhao Feng killed many of my sect's true disciples back then and openly made an enemy of the pure moon spiritual sect. He naturally has to pay the price. The Saint Moon Ant Goddess's heavenly voice gradually revealed a trace of coldness. So, the moment Zhao Feng returned to the Purple Saint Ruins, the 3 sects sensed him. Beside the Saint Moon Ant Goddess was a mottled giant scorpion. Its body was comparable to a buffalo, and it had a pair of icy red eyes that made one shudder. The aura of the mutated giant scorpion had already reached the true spirit level. Its eyes moved, motionlessly staring at Zhao Feng in the image. If Zhao Feng was here, he would definitely be shocked. The cub scorpion for back then had reached the true mystic rank in just a few years. The scorpion's rapid growth was obviously due to the void god realm king's nurturing. As Zhao Feng's spiritual pet, the stronger the giant scorpion cub was, the stronger the mysterious connection between it and its master would be. That brat won't be able to last long with these vines. This loophole will become a shortcut that our 3 sects have opened. The demonic Tao King, surrounded by black mist, laughed loudly. At this moment, in the depths of the canyon, Zhao Feng and the skeletal division leader were busy dealing with the crazy vines. The experts of the 3 sects could clearly see what was going on in the recording. Of course, the image only contained images and no sound. Zhao Feng, if you don't use your killing move, the entire ruins will be doomed once the vines start spreading. The skeletal division leader urged. The skeletal division leader's power of death was even more useful than the elements of wind, lightning, and fire. This was because the skeletal division leader's Een of death was extremely corrosive to life and plants. If I want to instantly kill these vines, I'll need to use the Jade Dragon Protection or the Ice Imperial Spear. Zhao Feng's heart moved. This was also what the skeletal division leader was thinking. If he used the Jade Dragon Protection, he should be able to sweep through the vines. If he used it with the Ice Imperial Spear, he would be able to freeze the entire area. No. Zhao Feng talked with the purple Saint Partial Spirit before shaking his head. Don't forget, this area was the weakest part of the purple Saint space, and there was a big hole. If he used the J-Dragon protection, the weak point in this area would probably expand in an instant. The consequences would be unimaginable. In short, this area couldn't withstand too much power. Skeletal Division Leader, let's team up. Another thought appeared in Zhao Feng's mind. This thought came from the fact that the Skeletal Division Leader's power of death had a corrosive effect on the vines. Ghost Corpse Cursed Array. A black flag appeared in Zhao Feng's hand, and he waved it. A total of 15 true Lord rank cursed ghost corpses appeared in the ocean of vines. These cursed ghost corpses lined up in a specific formation. Everything within 300 meters was suddenly shrouded in a thick, dark gray smoke. The powerful aura of the dead ghost corpses sealed off the entire area. Shoo! The demonic hell vines that had fallen into the ghost corpse cursed array started to smoke as they were corroded by the strong aura of death and started to rot at a visible rate, leaving behind a puddle of putrid liquid. Not bad. Zhao Feng was surprised and overjoyed. The ghost corpse cursed array countered the vines better than he had imagined and could quickly erode their life force. Shoo, 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 shoo. The demonic hell vines in this area quickly festered and turned into a large amount of disgusting and smelly mucus. So that's how it is. The Ghost Corpse Curse Grand Formation contains the power of curses and resentment, which has a strong restraining effect on all living things in the world. The Skeletal Division Leader paused and seemed to understand. The Ghost Corpse Cursed Array didn't just contain the power of the true Lord rank ghost corpses. It also contained the power of hatred and other negative mental energy curses. In the Azure Flower Continent, only the Scarlet Moon Patriarch and a few others could enter the 100 Graves Forbidden Ground and come out unscathed. The layout of the 100 Graves Forbidden Ground came from the force behind the Scarlet Moon demonic religion. After the Ghost Corpse Cursed Array appeared, the speed at which the demonic hell vines spread slowed down. However, it didn't stop. Zhao Feng, the vines have already spread 5 or 6 miles. We need to expand the Ghost Corpse Cursed Array. The Purple Saint Partial Spirit said. Open. Zhao Feng and the Skeletal Division Leader worked together to expand the range of the Ghost Corpse Cursed Array. In just a couple breaths, the Ghost Corpse Cursed Array had already spread to a radius of 1 mile and was still expanding until it reached 2 miles. After expanding the range, the power of the Ghost Corpse Cursed Array decreased. However, most of the demonic hell vines hadn't fully matured yet and were easily suppressed by the array. Unfortunately, the 100 Corpse plan is only 15% complete. Zhao Feng was slightly regretful. If the 100 Corpse plan was half complete, he was confident that he could control the demonic hell vines that hadn't fully matured yet. At this point in time, Zhao Feng and the Skeletal Division Leader were only barely able to stabilize the situation. In a short amount of time, the vines were still growing, but their speed had been slowed down. Both Zhao Feng and the Purple Saint Partial Spirit let out a breath. Zhao Feng, it's all thanks to you. If we were half the time it takes for an incense stick to burn, the Purple Saint ruins would have been in danger. The Purple Saint Partial Spirit said gratefully. Zhao Feng's expression was solemn. The danger had only been stopped, but it hadn't stopped. Skeletal Division Leader, help me with the Ghost Corpse Cursed Array. Zhao Feng suddenly said. He then handed the array flag over to the Skeletal Division Leader. I can only last an hour at most. The Skeletal Division Leader nodded its head. The Skeletal Division Leader's strength wasn't much weaker than a true Origin Core realm. He might be able to control the Ghost Corpse Cursed Array even more easily than Zhao Feng. At the same time, in a limitless ocean, on top of a mountain, the figures of the 3 sects stared at the image and couldn't help but be surprised. I didn't think that Zhao Feng would have someone at the Origin Core realm helping him. What kind of array is that? It's so effective against the demonic hell vines. Everyone discussed curiously. The 3 Void God Realm Kings looked at each other. Why are you all looking at me? The Golden Skeleton King said uncomfortably. The Saint Moon Ant Goddess and the demonic Tao, sovereign both, had questioning gazes. The array formed by the ghost corpses also contains a curse that counters living beings. It seems to be related to your Blackcliff Palace. The St. Moon Ant Goddess said. Oomph. The Blackcliff Palace isn't the only one that knows this technique. Some of the stronger one-star sects, and even the Moon Demon Palace, have also researched this technique. The Golden Skeleton said in disdain. Hearing that, the St. Moon Ant Goddess and the demonic Tao King didn't pursue the matter. There's no need to worry. With limited manpower, those two won't be able to last long. The Golden Skeleton said in a deep tone. At his level, he had a clear understanding of the Ghost Corpse curse formation, even if he only saw one image. However, as soon as he finished speaking, the image started to change. The scene in the scryer image trembled slightly, and dust billowed into the air. So. With his naked eyes, he saw hundreds of powerful demonic beasts charging over from the outside of the canyon. These beasts were all at the true spirit realm, and the strongest had reached the peak true lord rank. Their battle power was comparable to a half-step origin core realm. Charge! Zhao Feng's blue hair blew in the wind as he waved his hand in the air. In that instant, his god's spiritual eye flashed and released a terrifying eye bloodline aura. He controlled an army of several hundred beasts at the true spirit realm by himself. Boom! The earth shook and dust rose. The roars of the beasts shook one's heart. At this moment, the army of several hundred beasts at the true spirit realm charged into the ocean of demonic vines, and a multicolored aura formed a storm that enveloped the area. Large swathes of demonic hell vines were either crushed or turned into ashes. Although the range of the demonic hell vines was large and countered living beings, thousands or even tens of thousands of normal beasts would only serve as nourishment for the vines. However, the beasts that Zhao Feng controlled were all at the true spirit realm and had unimaginable power. You're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.